I had a picture, which I...
Just breathe. Go slow breathing. That way you get oxygen and it makes you feel better. And through the nose.
Hyperventilating, thank you.
There you go. See?
Okay.
You're good. Take your time.
Can we get some photos from you guys? The last photo I took was her saying goodbye to our girls. Her hair was over her face. We couldn't see her face. Is there an opportunity when all this is done to get some photos from the airport?
Oh, of how she appeared?
Yeah.
Welcome to 8MC Investigations. We put out new videos every single week, so make sure you're subscribed with the notifications on if you're a fan of consistent content. I want to give a shout out to all of our members. Thank you so much for your support. We will be putting a lot of extras on our Patreon, so if you're into more of a deep dive into some of these cases, make sure you check us out over there. The link is in the description below. The absolute best way to support the channel is to like and subscribe. It's free, it's easy, and it really does help the channel a lot, and we very much appreciate it. Okay, enough rambling, let's get into it. June 28, 2015. Bonita Springs, Florida. After cutting a family trip to Connecticut short, specifically to see patients the following morning, 46-year-old Dr. Teresa Sievers did not show up to the office on June 29th. She always showed up to the office. This is surveillance from Southwest Florida International Airport. This is the last time Dr. Teresa Sievers was seen alive. When a friend of her husband's went to check on her, he found Teresa lying on the kitchen floor in a pool of blood. There was a hammer lying next to her, and she was cold to the touch. She had been struck 17 times in the head with that hammer. After a failed first marriage, Teresa would marry Mark Sievers in 2003. They would go on to have 2 daughters. Teresa was the breadwinner of the family, with a very successful holistic practice, and Mark actually was her office manager. He was also delegated mostly to a stay-at-home dad status. During the attack, over $40,000 in cash and Mark's extensive gun collection were not touched. So what was the motive? Well, Teresa Sievers did have multiple life insurance policies totaling over $4 million. Could this have been the reason for her murder? Nearly 2 months went by without an arrest. But after receiving some tips on the case, detectives arrested Mark Sievers' childhood friend Curtis Wainwright and Jimmy Rogers in Missouri. This is the interrogation of Mark Sievers. If you missed the 2 interrogations of his hitman Curtis Wainwright, the links are in the description below. Jimmy Rogers invoked his Miranda rights and did not speak with detectives. But first, let us have a moment of silence for the victim in this case.
I love you, man. You girls. Strength. Okay. Teresa. I love you. I want to know what happened to you. I need to know.
It's just consent form, stand there, write your name there.
Teresa, I keep hoping this is just a dream. I want you to turn around, come in the door. I wish they'd have breakfast. I want to wake up with you in my arms.
Okay, I'm just going to make you aware that this is going to be a digital recorded statement. Okay, here we go. Just going to get some more. Just going to get your basic information from you again. Put the case number down. So that's 314-239-0173. Mr. Sievers, I represent myself today to you as a law enforcement officer, is that correct?
Yes, Detective.
And you do realise being a law enforcement officer in the state of Florida, I'm empowered to take a sworn statement from you.
Yes.
Okay, with that in mind, do you raise your right hand for me, please?
Sure.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so be God?
Yes.
Okay, you can lower your right hand, sir. Just for the record, state your name one more time for me.
Mark Sievers.
And what is your relationship to...
Sounds good.
It's okay, take your time.
Okay.
Now, just going to go over your timeline again, very briefly, because I know we have discussed a lot of it. What day did you fly up to LaGuardia Airport?
Friday morning.
Okay, who did you fly up with?
Your family.
Okay, and what airline did you fly up with?
Delta.
Delta. And where did you fly to?
LaGuardia.
Okay, and you rented a vehicle, is that correct?
We did.
Okay.
We rented a car from Payless.
And what sort of vehicle was that?
A four-door, white silver car.
Do you know the model or anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can get that information.
That's okay. Well, you drove to where, sir?
We drove to New York to the house we were staying at for the weekend.
Do you recall the address there?
It was 80-something. It was 80, and then LaGuardia was here.
Yeah.
The house was here. Connecticut was here. So it was north of the airport but south of Connecticut.
So sort of midway between the airport and Connecticut?
I believe so.
Okay. And how long does it take you to drive there?
Maybe 3 hours. We had a lot of traffic when we stopped at the grocery store.
Okay. Did you drive all the way, or did
I drove the whole way.
Okay. And was anybody else in the vehicle with you? Did you meet with anybody?
My wife and kids. No one else.
You didn't meet with anybody else at the airport that came with you that flew in from other destinations?
No, we were the only ones flying in.
Okay. So you drove and you stopped. Do you recall where you stopped?
If I knew we were going over these, I would have looked all this information up. Some health food store or an organic place. It was something green.
Okay.
Evergreen. It was just a couple of miles from the house we stayed at.
Okay, so you're probably about 2.5 miles, 3/4 miles into the journey?
No, just from the house we were staying at. So it was
right.
Hours into the journey.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's about 2.75 hours into the
hours,
journey.
yes. Just, I said miles.
Okay.
Yes, something like that.
Okay. So you went there, and then you went to the house after?
Yes.
You didn't stop anywhere in between? No gas stations, nothing like that, toy stores?
No, just went to the grocery store and then to the house.
Okay. Well, when you got there, were there other members of your family at the house?
I think everybody else was there. The other kids were swimming. So my girls ran in the house, got their suits on, and jumped in the pool.
Okay. And how many people were there?
Frankie, Kelly, Isabella, Kat, Mom, Grace, Annie, Mickey. So, 14 of us, and then Uncle Peter came the next day.
Okay.
So 14, 15 of us.
What was the atmosphere like in the house?
It was fun. We were 75th birthday. She had her birthday in March, and we couldn't take off to see her in March, so everyone got together. The schedule was such that we could do this in June, so we did it.
Okay. There was no animosity or problems with anybody at the house?
No.
Nobody leave the house? They were there the entire time? When I say leave,
Uncle Peter came in a day later because he was working.
Okay.
But no one left. There was no issues at the house. I mean, they all love each other. And I mean, kids argue and kids will yell, but there was no issues.
So, just going over a bit over. Did she smoke?
No.
Didn't smoke cigarettes, cigars?
Oh, yeah. She smoked a cigar occasionally.
Okay.
It is nasty. It reminds her of her dad. Her dad passed away, and he was known for cigars.
Did she smoke or any cigars there at the house?
Oh, no. Well, I don't think she did. Usually when they do that, the siblings will get together and they all do it. Like there was a photo at her dad's funeral of all the sisters and the brothers smoking a cigar in honor of their dad.
Okay.
Nothing like that took place that I recall.
Okay. Did she drink?
She does drink wine.
Okay, just wine, no mixed drinks or anything like that, scotch, beer?
No, just wine, red wine.
How much would she drink in a day?
Well, typically she wouldn't drink every day. On vacation or if we're going out to dinner one night, she might have a glass or two of wine.
Okay, she's a social drinker.
Oh, big time. So, I mean, big time meaning just a social drinker.
She used any illicit drugs like marijuana, cocaine? What, has she ever used any of that?
She had never used any of the drugs, cocaine or any of that stuff since I've known her. Is this going to get out for public information?
This is for our investigation. This lets us look at certain people that she may have come in contact with.
She never was drug seeking. She hasn't smoked any marijuana in a year. So she hasn't done anything.
Okay. But has she ever used it?
She had used marijuana before.
How long ago was that?
Over a year ago. Very infrequent.
Right. Never used cocaine?
I never saw her use cocaine. So I don't know what she did in her youth. In the time we've been together, never.
What about heroin?
No.
Any pill problems? Did she ever get hooked on oxycodone for any pain management?
No.
No, not
she was very much against medications for herself, and we don't do them ourselves.
Okay. She tried any of the herbal drugs like that were out there, the enhancing drugs, this sort of levity enhancing drugs that are out there?
I don't know that. She would take supplements.
Okay.
But it's not for like a mood stabilizer. Is that what you mean?
Right.
It's more like your vitamins, your nutrients. She would take, God, she has pill boxes at home. We have a pantry. We probably have more supplements in our pantry than we do food. It's full of supplements. On the counter, we have supplements.
Okay.
And our daughters take them. They haven't taken them for several days now, but we take supplements in the house.
Okay. But the only thing she'd do for say, would be drink wine, basically for fun. She wouldn't drink or smoke marijuana anymore. She'd just have a glass of wine here and there.
And it's important. I don't want that out there in the press because that's not who she was.
I understand.
Okay. And I'm trying to...
It's a background and we have to go into it.
I'm answering you honestly, and I understand you have to ask, and I just wanted to preface it with, please don't let that out. I don't want to see in the news tomorrow, pot smoking, doctor died.
No, we don't release stuff.
You know what I mean?
Now, this is basically a case report. This goes into our investigation. That investigation doesn't get released to the press this time. You understand?
At this time.
At this time.
Okay.
And most of the time, all the media wish to see is like a booking sheet when somebody gets arrested. You understand? Medical for... Has she had any operations recently?
Not recently, but a couple of years ago.
What did she have done?
What's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Tummy tuck?
Tummy tuck, and they did something else. Like her muscle walls weren't straight. They had to do something because she... something with childbirth, and that it had pushed something out.
Okay.
So this called.
Did she have a hernia? Or?
No, but it's like a Floridian. It's something along that line was the name of it.
Okay.
Her surgeon is a colleague of hers, Dr. Paul Gardner, Gardner. Does that help you?
It's just something we come across.
I mean, giving you his name, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. We will speak to Mr. Gardner as well, Dr. Gardner. And he conducted that 2 years ago?
At the time, I'm not certain. I have to look at her stuff to see, but maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago.
What about other cosmetic surgery? Did she have? Nothing like that? No facial reconstruction?
No.
Nothing like that?
She won't do that.
Okay.
She didn't need it. Yeah. She only got the tummy tuck after us talking and talking and talking and knowing that is what she really wanted.
Right.
We're very much a natural. However you are now is perfect the way you are. The tummy tuck was something she couldn't keep. She was tight. She was muscular and solid. She couldn't get this in because of the wall. I can't think what they call it. But when women have a child, when they're pregnant, some things get pushed around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no boob enhancements, any of that stuff.
Okay. Did she wear makeup?
Yes.
Okay. Has she always worn makeup?
Usually she wears makeup. Not when she goes to bed, she takes it off.
I understand. We understand that. We've spoken to a number of people. You've got to realise that some people, of course, they may not know something and make an erroneous statement.
And they won't find out that she used to smoke pot, right?
No, you don't have to worry then. So she's always worn makeup for years.
Yeah.
I know that when I looked at the house, there was organic. Would she wear organic perfume, organic makeup?
We were as organic as you could be, that we could be, without being neurotic. She had her organic makeup. She had organic lipstick, organic food.
Right.
You know.
So the all-natural product.
It's as natural as it gets, not just because they claim it natural. She investigates it, finds out more about it, and makes sure no animal testing was done, and that it's as environmentally friendly and sound and organic.
Okay. I'm sorry, I get text coming through from the scene. So
Please, take if you have to. If it's about this, you do what you got to do.
Okay, so
and you'll see in my pictures. We just showed it at the house in New York over the weekend. My little girl, probably 5 years ago, got into mommy's makeup. Her face is all covered. She put it on. That was $25. It was brand new, and she's just smiling, mommy. Sorry.
That's okay. So she there was something I just wanted to clear up. And so when she was, so you were at the house. What did you have breakfast with the family on the Sunday before she left? Did you have
Friday.
No, in New York.
Oh. Gosh, we had to have.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay. Did you go out? Did you have it at the house?
Oh, no, we ate in the house the whole time. We ate in the house the whole time. So we cooked. She made her beans and rice, spicy beans, regular beans, white rice for my little one, Mexican, Spanish rice for everybody else. We did the cooking in the house. So we did the eating in the house. We didn't go out for that.
Okay. And you had lunch at the house too?
I wish I could say yes or no. I don't remember the actual timeline of what we had and didn't have, because we were eating whenever we could, and when we were swimming and going in the water and playing in the lake.
I understand. Leaving that day, so did you have sort of a farewell sort of lunch or anything?
Everybody was leaving that day. We stayed in the house as long as we could. Flight was leaving LaGuardia, and we drove her to the airport. We, in theory, were supposed to be out of the house early, but they said we could stay as long as we wanted because nobody else was coming in that day. So we had the time to stay as long as we could. We stayed, the last week besides us, it was Mimi and Tom. Her mother and stepfather were there when we left. And then her brothers and sister and other brother, they left as they had to throughout the early afternoon.
So once you dropped her off at the airport, which was about what time, approximately?
Somewhere around 3:30, 3, 4.
Okay. When you dropped her off, did you stop anywhere on the way there?
We stopped at the parking garage. We went inside.
Okay.
We went inside. Oh, yeah, that's what you're asking. We did, not by choice. It was our best trip, navigating-wise. I didn't use my navigation. She navigated me the whole time. Mm-hmm. Turn here, take this exit. And all of a sudden, we're like, this doesn't seem right. She looks at her phone. She had put in her sister's address in New York that she hasn't seen in a while. So we ended up driving to her sister's house, almost to her house, on the same street. So we called her. We first called and said, we're in the area, we might stop by. If you're home, call. She never called back. Didn't realize that she hit the button and it mapped it to her house. Oh, okay. So now we're thinking we're getting to LaGuardia and we're going around downtown New York City. And we ended up almost at her house. And she wasn't home, so we just kept driving and got ourselves back to the airport. Okay. But we didn't stop.
You didn't stop for food or anything like that?
No. We almost did. But it was so hard to find a parking spot, we kept going. And at the airport, we pulled into the parking, ultimately at the parking. We went into the airport because there was like a food court. We thought, hey, great, we'll eat together. There was no food court. So we ended up saying our goodbyes when we said our goodbyes. I took a picture first saying goodbye to my daughters. And we left. And she said to me, "Don't blow up my fucking cell phone with text messages." So we are driving. She texts me, "Call me when you're on the highway, you know where you're going." So then we called her and I got that message. I probably saw it 10, 15 minutes after she texted me. I called her, we talked. And we had our kids with us going to the airport because there was a lot of behavioral issues as far as them not listening to mommy,
Right.
and mommy being disrespected and consequent. That's me too. We said we respect mommy and daddy, we do what we're told. And so we had our talk with them on the way to the airport. And when she called me, when I called her, she's like, "How are the girls?" And I said, "They're great." And she asked about the last interaction. I'm like, "They're fine." They know that our talk was based on love, that we tell them they need to listen. Yeah, I know it's put the chair in, you're listening. It may be down. You don't know what's going on. It may be stop, a car's coming. You have to do what you're told immediately without having to say, "But why?" And so she left on that positive note where the girls knew, she knew the girls loved her, and that they took from our 2-hour conversation off and on just the love. And then we did our nighttime prayers in the car.
Right.
Passed the phone back to put her on speakerphone, and we did our nighttime prayer together. And we do it every night.
What luggage did you have with her when she got on the plane? Do you recall?
Yeah, she had her pink, I guess it's a purplish with brown. I see the pink, but it's purplish with brown, small travel suitcase with wheels.
When you say small, how small off the ground?
Oh, off the ground? Well, it touched the ground. Oh, I don't know, probably this big, maybe 2 feet. It fits in the airline. It typically fits in the airline overhead.
18-inch, 2 feet, 2
Something
feet,
like
yeah.
that. It's typical. It didn't fit on the airplane on the way back. We got to. Oh,
Too great to take time.
Little baby hurt her neck yesterday at her friend's house. And she, "Go get mommy." And then it's like, "Oh my gosh, mommy's not here." This doesn't help you, and I'm
That's okay.
trying
Take
very
your time.
hard.
I understand.
We don't have time. It was a purplish bag with brown checks, tan stripes. Yeah,
Was
purplish.
it a pulley bag?
A pulley bag with wheels.
Was
and
it
a
a-
handle.
That's okay. Was it part of a?
Part of a large set. I think there are 3 or 4 pieces, plus even a folding bag, I think.
Now, when she's got it at home, does she store it inside another suitcase?
Oh, yeah. Now, I don't think she would have done that. That would be, well, yeah, she'd have me do it. I would have brought the suitcase in the house. It might have been our bedroom.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. She brought her suitcase out to the kitchen to put away, so I don't in the car when we left. So I'm trying to think. I would have brought all the suitcases in the house, unzipped them, pulled out the small one. I hope I didn't leave it on the floor. I may have left it on the floor of her bedroom, but I would have typically picked it up against the side so when she comes home she wouldn't trip over it or have any issues with her suitcase.
There was a larger suitcase in your bedroom.
Oh, there was?
Yeah.
Okay, then I left it there. A lot of times I take that to the garage. I zip it back up and put it in the garage.
Okay.
And then we redo it when we get home. Apparently we didn't do it then.
So the one she had
Was the smallest of the set.
what was that? But that fits inside the larger.
It fits inside
So
the-
it'll go in each.
Right.
Okay.
Like that Russian doll. They had the Russian egg doll.
So what else did she bring with her?
She had a black bag. It had to be faux leather because being organic and vegetarian, she wouldn't use leather. Black bag. A dark, maybe a denim almost or something jacket.
Okay.
Black dress, maybe with white stripes on it. I'm going from the picture I took of her at the airport.
Can you show you a picture of one?
Her shoes with a tan top and black, big, thick bottoms.
This is a copy of a picture that I have. I've got on my computer. I'll share this. Just make sure.
And I think she had a small purse that she would have put inside of her big work bag. Yeah. She's not wearing a jacket.
Because she wasn't wearing a jacket there.
Yeah. But that's the purple bag.
And that's how she had her hair when she left?
It was over her face because she was leaning down with the girls.
Okay.
But she had the jacket on.
Right.
So this is after we left with her.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you could probably get the picture of her that I have from the airport. I was so annoyed. My little daughter is so stoic. She doesn't hug that much. And it's like, hug your mommy. And she hugged her, but it was kind of like a halfway hug.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, mom, and it was her hug.
Right. Now, what would you keep in the non-leather bag?
Okay, her purse. Okay. Her purse would be in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would have had her jewelry in there. Whatever she wasn't wearing would either be in that bag or would be in her big bag that she rolls. Supplements. Her, her cell phone. Her earbuds, which she left on the seat of the car, on the dash of the car when she left.
And which colour were they?
I have the white ones.
Okay.
She always had a pair of black ones. I don't know where they are.
Okay.
She may have had them in a pair. I don't know because she used the white ones usually. But when the white ones weren't working, she'd use these cheap black ones that worked great for her. They never worked on my phone. Better to spend $6 and $30.
She carried wet naps with her?
I don't know. Wet naps. There were wet naps on the counter at the house in New York.
What were they stored in?
I thought it was like a hard container.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking like a baby wipe.
Right, baby wet naps, yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't see any baby wipes on her. But I also don't look through her purse. I didn't know.
Okay.
What else?
Were they stored in a Ziploc baggie or anything like that?
It would have to be if it's on the plane.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing them.
Okay.
I just remember seeing something on the counter in New York at the house.
How many books would she be bringing with her?
Oh, God. There's no way, no. Guaranteed one. Could be 3 or 4.
Okay. And her jewelry? What sort of jewelry would she have with her? Not on her, in her bag.
I don't know. I was going to say what's on her. Whatever.
You tell me what's on her.
I tell her what's on her. What's not on her, that will tell you what would be in the bag then.
Okay.
Diamond earrings, stud earring.
Now, do they have screw on or will they push on?
They're nice
screw on
earrings.
butterflies.
They're nice earrings, so it's probably a screw on, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I have to talk to her jeweler to find out because I don't know what they are.
Okay.
I would guess the screw on.
They were high-end earrings?
For me, I think they cost like $1,800 or $2,000. So for me, that was high end.
Right.
Her wedding ring and our wedding band. The Mother's Day ring with 5 stones in it. 2 for my daughter, 2 for my other daughter, 1 for my mom, or 1. I can't remember the birth. I can't even how many stones are in the ring.
That's okay.
Again, I do have that stuff with our jeweler.
Right.
So we just had our stuff appraised, I don't know, in the last 6-7 months. What else? A bracelet.
What did that look like?
That's a stainless sterling silver bracelet, Helen Keller engraved. Mm-hmm. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Maybe some other big jewelry costume jewelry, maybe some costume rings, I don't know, maybe turquoise or something.
Okay.
A necklace. Her dad gave her a necklace. When her dad died, she got a necklace. It's, I don't know if she had it. It's a gold necklace with a diamond in it. Or she would have had a crystal from her friend Michelle, Mark's wife.
Was there a necklace with a small square plate on it with basically a saying on it?
Yes, like a rose or something, like a dark colored. Mm-hmm. She had had that on then.
Would she wear multiple, or would she just wear the one?
I'd have to look at my phone to see it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. I would. My gut is saying 1 necklace at a time. You don't tangle the chains.
Right.
But that's just logical. I don't know if that's practical.
Is that how she would be?
I don't know. That's how I am. I don't know how she would be.
Okay.
I typically see her with one necklace, but if she's traveling alone, I don't know. Maybe that had special meetings. She wanted to have Michelle next to her. I mean, I don't really know.
Okay. So
And she's used to traveling. She hasn't done it in a little while, but she used to go out of town all the time.
Yeah.
She'd go to Vegas. She'd go to Orlando. That's driving. She'd fly when she'd go out of town to Texas for taping her show.
Yeah.
She's very savvy about the airport. She knows how to keep to herself, do what she needs to do. We always... We always preach to our girls about knowing your surroundings, being aware of your environment. She was no different. She would preach to our girls about that too. She would leave work at night, coming down the stairs by herself at dark. I would tell her, you have to be careful. There's that little air conditioned area, big wall. You got to be aware of your surroundings. I want your mate. Did she have her keys in her? Oh shit, she had my keys.
So your keys? What sort of keys were they?
I don't believe this. I appreciate her keys. She has Mace on her key ring. I tell her whenever you're leaving, going in dark at night, always have your finger on it. Your purse doesn't do any good. If you carry a gun, you have your hand on it. It doesn't do any good if it's not accessible. It was like that, the keychain. Like a little, like a
clip,
like a wannabe rock climber.
Okay,
the clip.
The carabiner ring on it.
Yeah, and I had my minivan key and one small key on it.
So there's only 2 keys. On it.
2 keys on it.
Any remote for it?
The remote for the van, yes.
Okay. Any gym swabs on it for going to a gym? You put it on the keyless.
No, that's in my car though.
Is it?
I have in my car. They have my gym thing.
Okay. And what's that look like?
My car?
No, the gym swab.
Oh, it's a small little piece. They have a magnetic strip on their door. You can put it on your keychain.
Okay.
I like my keychains clutter-free.
Okay.
You can't tell by looking at my office. You were there at my scene. That's always been our issue at the house. Is my office is the way it is. So I don't like my keys like that. So I always had that in my car. So when I go to the gym, I just take it out and use it.
Carry cash on them?
Oh God, minimal. I asked her before we left. Actually, I know what she had on her. I always carry cash on me. Mm-hmm. And when we're leaving at the airport, we're driving to the airport trying to park. Like, how much money do you have? I want to make sure you have cash on you. She goes, I'm fine. I go, you have to at least have $20 minimum. You got to grab a bite to eat. If you need to tip somebody, you need to have at least $20 on you. Right. And she went through her wallet, and I said, how much do you need? She goes, she has enough. So she has at least $20 on her.
Okay. Did she have... How many credit cards do you have?
Oh, God, I don't know. I don't think she had her business card on her because we went to rent a car. I actually had my business card, and that's what we reserved it with. Her Bank of America debit card with her picture.
Okay.
I think there's a MasterCard that actually says
Okay.
She may have had like Saks or those kind of cards.
Store cards?
Maybe those, department store cards. I don't think she had any other credit cards.
American Express?
American Express, that's our business card. That's probably ends in 2013.
Okay.
Now, I meant to ask you this only because people are telling me to do this and I keep forgetting to ask you. Okay. I didn't deactivate her cards.
Okay.
I didn't do any of that. They said if they took her cards, leave them go so people can use them.
Absolutely.
And we didn't discuss that.
Right.
I keep forgetting to make notes in my phone to talk to you about stuff. And that was one of the notes I wanted to make sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have her purse and wallet and her card, so it's irrelevant, or if that was taken, because we never talked about a burglary. Right. If it was the beginning and or if it's even an option.
Okay. Well, I can't go into it too much.
But I looked at her Bank of America card, and I saw one thing. I think $7 or something.
Right.
Sorry, you can't go into much.
Checkbooks. She have checkbooks with her?
She did keep a checkbook with her.
What, for Bank of America?
Bank of America.
Okay, it was active. It was like it had checks in it, or was it full?
I don't understand.
Are they all used, the checks, or are there active checks which you can use in there?
Oh yeah, they're active. Yeah, she has a register on her. So she always writes everything down, and then her checkbook.
Okay. How many cell phones did you carry?
She had one cell phone.
Okay, and what did that look like?
The phone you took. It's identical to my phone.
Identical to that? Different
Well,
colour?
you know what? I was going to say, the case is different, and I think we've had them in a case for so long. Mine's black. I think hers is white.
Okay.
But you always see them in a case. You just go by the color of the case.
Right. And did she have any live checks which people had written her that could be taken, endorsed checks?
She could. I have no idea.
Does she regularly get paid through her business by check?
Oh, those are direct deposit. And I broke down yesterday when I looked at the account. I saw the direct deposit came in. Because I set all it up before we left town. She would get paid on the 30th. So would Sandra. Mm-hmm. And then Crystal is our temporary front desk who's helping us out. She would get paid on Wednesday, which is today. I was out of town, and I knew I didn't want to have to deal with trying to process payroll remotely on a Friday with internet or Monday or whenever I could do it. So I set it up before we left town.
Okay.
So I had this payroll stuff taken care of.
Is anybody power of attorney? Power of attorney over any of her accounts, businesses?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm guessing me. I don't know.
Okay.
We have.
Apart from you.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
So no one's got access to her funds?
No one have it. There'd be nobody. I mean, I spoke to our financial advisor, who's a really good friend. It's like a father. He's also telling me what I need to do. He goes, stop crying. Stop doing this. You have to take care of your girls. You have to do this. You have to get this stuff to me. You have to do all these things. And I know it's just, I'm doing as much as I can as people are telling me. And I feel so, I guess I feel pathetic. But at the same time, there's so much going on.
It's not pathetic.
But it's hard. I feel that I could have stopped this from happening. How do I get over it?
It's going to take time. It really will.
You said one safe was open. Do you know if it was a safe or was it a lockbox?
How many safes do you have?
Safes. 4 safes.
Right, we're talking about wall safes or freestanding safes.
Oh, 5 safes. 5 safes. She had one in her closet.
Okay, is that freestanding or is that in a wall?
They're all actually freestanding.
Okay.
It was sitting on a shelf.
5 shelves? Or, I mean, would you be able to pick them up physically?
Well, that particular one in her closet, you could.
Okay.
It was like a hotel safe.
Right.
It has a little code swipe. That's by itself in her closet.
What was kept in that safe?
God. I'd have to look. It's been so long since we went in there. That would be where she kept the marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you say marijuana, what sort of quantity would she have?
I don't know, small quantity. Just
personal use?
Absolutely, just a few
When I
drops.
say that, I'm talking about one fully tray like this?
I probably a couple, maybe a small baggie.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I mean, she has like roaches in there, the little butts. Just
Okay. But that's all she keep in that safe?
I don't remember. I think that's all, but I don't know.
Any cash?
I think so.
No. Any paraphernalia in there, like pipes, bongs?
Well, that would probably go along with the content. So yes, that would be in there.
That's because what happened if we find the stuff and there's fingerprints? That'll help us know if
Right.
it's hers or not. We'll have you identified.
And yeah, absolutely. There's going to be little tubes in there
Okay.
that you would put a joint in, and I would roll them for her.
Okay.
There is a little bag, a little roller
Okay.
that you use, organic paper.
Right. And would you have any scales in there?
No,
No.
no reason for skill.
Okay. Sometimes people weigh it out so you know how much you use. Okay. Any other safes?
Oh yeah, my closet. You walk in my closet. On the left side is a vertical. Where's that? Like up and down. Vertical safe. Immediately on the right side of that is another big safe.
Let's go to the vertical one. Let's take one at a time.
Okay.
Vertical safe. How big? Is it a rifle safe?
Yes.
Okay.
This big.
Okay.
It's little cheap safe from Home Depot. Home Depot.
Is it a push button key?
What do I get for that? It's a dial.
The dial, okay. And what do you keep in there?
I keep rifles in there. I also have.
What sort of rifles?
God, I can't tell you. There's a lot. I guess I can't tell you. I'm trying to think. Rifles. 22, 30-06, 458, shotguns, an old gun. I have no idea what it is. My dad was a collector. He passed away years ago, and I have a lot of guns. I got those guns from my dad when he died.
Any scopes or anything?
Oh, on the rifles there should be. Some will probably have scopes on them.
Any freestanding scopes there that aren't on guns?
I don't think so. Wait a second. No? I don't think there are any freestanding scopes.
Okay.
But it's full. It was full. You couldn't get, I think, maybe 14 guns in there. And that's why I had to use the gun cases that you saw in the garage.
Okay.
I have some in my closet, and they're behind. You walk in my closet. Here's the safe. I have clothes hanging down to try to cover it up a little bit, and then other stuff, more clothes on the side, beside the safe to the wall. I had 2 more gun boxes, rifle cases. Each one of the cases would have had a rifle in there that wouldn't fit in my safe. And I had the locks on the.
Okay, and that's in your closet.
In my closet, and then on the right side, you have a big safe, which came from Office Depot that closed.
But did you keep any ammunition in the rifle safe?
Top shelf had a little drawer.
Okay, was there much ammunition in there?
Not much. I have a 22, my very first 22 ever, loaded. A little bit of ammo in there. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe I can't even tell you what it is. Maybe 9mm little shot shells or something.
Okay.
To the right of that, I have coins. I collect coins from a long time ago on currency, older stuff, and just unusual things to me. If I saw a smear on it or something, I'd keep it. Put a little asterisk on them. I may have had money in the door of the safe with a clip, like what do you call it? Like a paper clip that you hold it.
Money clip.
Well, not a money clip. It's a paper clip that you pinch the money, you pinch your paper together, but then I'd have it sticking the end of it over the straps.
Okay.
Holding it
It's
there.
like a gorilla clip where you.
There you go. I think it is.
Right. So you have how much money was in there? Approximately. I'm not looking for accuracy on.
I don't know. It could be hundreds. It could be 1,000 or so. I really don't know offhand.
Okay. And
then the big safe has ammo in it. 9mm, some 38. Some silver. What do you call those? Rounds, whatever.
Okay.
In the bottom. Some boxes. Original gun box from old guns that I got from my dad. Loaded guns on the shelf because I took the guns and put them in that safe before we left. I have a 22, which is probably not loaded. It was a 22 Marksman target pistol. The slide should be open. 2 38s. One's 38 special. One is a police special.
Okay.
Commissioner in St. Louis gave it to my dad years ago. I think it was a sidearm or I don't know what it was. It was a commemorative gun that the captain he knew gave it to him. Then there's another 38 Smith & Wesson, which is just a different caliber. It's like 100 years old.
Okay.
It's in a leather holster, loaded. All of them are loaded except that 122 I told you on the slide open.
Yeah.
The other guns that would be in there would be in a case of some sort, and they would not be loaded.
Okay.
One of them is a collectible that I have in its original box, still wrapped up in the paper and stuff.
Okay.
There's one from...
That's all. Is only this one other safe next to the rifle safe?
I believe so.
Okay.
And there's a gun from like the 20s or 30s or something, the 22 from the 30s maybe, from the war. And then it's probably it. I can't think of it.
Are they all fireable?
Well, I don't know. There was a break open one. That was, you know what I mean by break open?
Yes.
No idea if I would never fire it. No idea if it's fireable. It's just old. It was just a gun. And the one from the 1900s, the one that I was just recently told was like 100 years old, I've had it loaded for all this time. I won't fire it. That is my last resort if I ever needed it, because it's so old. I don't know if it's fireable. I would imagine it is. It's a revolver. There's not a lot to go wrong with it. And then to the left of that are two safes stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
Bottom safe has a dial and a key. I have it all taped up, so I don't use a dial.
Right.
I have the key. Yeah, I don't know what's in that safe except I have a till bag that we have a lot of our cash in that bag.
What sort of, when you say a lot of cash, what sort of quantity of cash are you talking about?
40.
Okay.
It's a lot to us.
Yes.
I don't recall any guns in that safe. I only recall holsters, but I can't remember.
Who knows you keep that amount of cash in the house?
Besides you?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody?
Maybe. Okay.
Nobody?
Not even family?
Nobody.
Okay.
There's no reason to tell anybody.
Right.
There's no reason. My family knows about my gun. They know my first love was guns. I was shooting when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I would not have my kid shoot, but I was when I was a kid.
Now the last safe, what was in that?
The safe on top that would have her documents. There'd be some jewelry in there. Maybe her necklace. Oh, I'd have maybe some of her jewelry or my jewelry would be in the first rifle safe too.
Right.
In that top part where my kit gun, my 22 is, there'd be some jewelry. And in her safe, I called it hers because we got together with that safe. We had a book of her important papers we had to keep, always had to keep for medical license because she went to a foreign medical school. I had to keep that original.
Right.
Her daughter's necklace. Oh, I don't know if her daughter's pearl necklace is in that safe or if it's in the big one with all the handguns. Odds and end jewelry, sentimental things. I think I have all my old driver's licenses or that kind of stuff in there. Okay. Passports, I think, are going to be in there.
So is there possibility that one would be left open? That safe door may be left open? Like I said, one of the safes was open. I'm just seeing which one.
That one is a push button.
I'll see if the crime scene have sent me any information on the... but you can keep talking. I'm just going to pull up the pictures of my crime scene.
What else is in there? My brother gave me he asked if we collect things.
Yes.
I am a pack rat, unfortunately. My brother gave me something for my birthday when I turned 21.
Okay.
It was like a wallet with $51 bills in it.
Oh, okay.
I have all $50 bills. I saved it. So it's in that push button safe.
The one that was left open did have a little bit of marijuana. Right? I mean, it was just the safe there.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Okay, that's on her shelf. This is in her closet.
That's her closet shelf?
This is her closet.
Okay. So that would be possibly left open?
No. I have no idea why that would be open. This is her purse and stuff is underneath the shelves. How long is she got home around 11:30. I'm doing the timeline. Can you tell me when she died? I need to know when she tortured her. What happened to her?
We can't tell at this stage, but we're still working on that. Okay.
Why would somebody go into that safe? How could they get into it?
Well, it's not necessarily. Maybe the safe was open. You see? Maybe she went and put some stuff.
She left the room and she brought her bag to the kitchen. It's just not. It's a variable I don't know. Yeah. Because I never leave a safe. Even the one by the nightstand. It's a little push button, 4-digit code. You turn it, opens up. Never open. She opens it when she gets home by herself. It's open. Yeah. Takes the gun out of the holster, so it's right there.
Who else has the codes to any yourselves?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody, just her and I.
Okay.
We typically use the same codes when we go to hotels. We try to keep things the same. It's been so long since that safe's been open.
Would you leave the codes anywhere, or do you leave the codes anywhere that are accessible to them?
No.
Go back for, we're trying to work out stuff. There's certain stuff that's stacked in different places. Like I said, there was entry made to the residence, and we're trying to work out what they would use. There were certain tools around the residence that we'd like to know about.
Please,
Can you just show me a thing? I want to know if they belong to you.
Show me all pictures. What can I ask you what time it is?
Absolutely,
Of course I can.
12:26.
We've only been talking for 30 minutes.
Seems like longer than that.
Seems like 5 or 6 hours on this, my girls.
Is this one of yours?
My eyesight. No, I don't care how it's positioned. It does look like one of ours.
This one?
Yeah, we have one that's very similar to that with the red too.
And that's yours?
Yeah.
So they're both your hammers?
Yeah, you'll probably find 6 more hammers too.
Okay.
A couple that are very similar to those.
Okay.
Where are they?
Well, I can't.
Okay. They were in the garage. Was my car pulled in forward or back in? She probably pulled in forward.
Yours was forward.
Because I always back in.
Okay.
It bugs the hell out of her. She goes, why do you back in? It takes so much longer. I'm like, I got to take suitcases out of the back. And when you leave, you got to back out. I'd rather back in because I'm more alert. I'm not going to bump into anything, you know. She pulled in the center of the driveway. Oh, God, crap. Sorry. My lawn chairs and stuff I took out of the back of the van.
Right.
So we can put our luggage in. And then just crap we have in there. We have filters for the air conditioning unit. A red, kind of like a Craftsman, but I think it's a no-name box, a toolbox. Probably hammers on that. I got a little
Where's
blue.
that?
Okay, the filters.
I'm looking in your garage. You've got. If I look in, your blue van's going to be here. The Mercedes going to be here.
It's to the left corner of the Mercedes, a little bit up left. Like if here's the Mercedes, here's my van. It's going to be up here. If here's a wall.
You'll have your drawer.
That's actually better.
And don't worry, I don't know. You don't have to be an artist. Oh.
It's a door. I think it was something like this, because her side was a little recessed. Her Mercedes is here. We have wood on the side. Because my daughter's made a toy house.
Okay.
This is the house. We have a freezer here. My dogs eat organic.
Okay.
Oh shit, they're getting cracked food. They're allergic to beef. So we have like chicken or a freezer we bought for our dogs.
Okay.
Our refrigerator here, an outside refrigerator. The shutters for the house. Hurricane.
Yes.
I think I have shelves. A vacuum cleaner, central vacuum cleaner. Water heater.
Let me just ask you about some. There was some like a toolbox or a lockback box over here, stacked by this door. Would that be there normally?
I don't know. Do you have a picture of it?
No way. No.
Okay. Because on the shelves I had some toolboxes. Not toolboxes, like wire cutter. Because we had to use it when we were putting the electric fence in, like
Right.
a week or two prior. It's like a phone line thing where you splice your phone sets, your handsets and stuff together,
Yes.
put new ends on it. There's a little blue box, really tight. I had a couple of boxes of little things like that. Down here is where we have the red toolbox, which was my grandfather's, on the ground. We probably have 2 boxes of filters right here, 2 different sizes. Shelves. We got a vest. We probably have all kinds of junk over here. We have a tool. A bin where I keep tools. It's a gray bin. Sits on the bottom. I have another bin sitting on top of it.
Okay.
Inside that bin is the saw, whatever other tools I have that I don't use.
Right.
The hammers would have probably been right here on top, probably some inside. There's also another blue basin, maybe, and this is something that we have our tools and just thrown in there. There might have been a hammer in there.
Okay. What's the odds that there's a hammer outside the door?
My hammer outside the door? It's not a good odd. we were rushed.
Were you doing any work where you used a hammer recently?
No, I didn't even use a hammer to pull the fence out. It's not likely to be outside. We have, for putting the wire in the ground, what did he use? Like a shovel, a hoe, or something he brought over. To put not even mine. A JB.
Okay.
Thank you. It's Dr. Nancy's husband. We're watching their doggy while they're gone for a month. And he helped me for a couple of days. Thank you. I can't think of why any of my tools would be outside.
Okay.
Wait a second. No, it wouldn't be a hammer. We have a fence.
Right. White fence?
Yeah. And
is that locked or unlocked?
It's unlocked. And JB put concrete down. I think on this side he put little pavers or something on the bottom. We were trying to doggy-proof our yard. We didn't want his doggy getting out. Last time we watched his dog, he'd always run. This time we were taking extra measures.
That dog wasn't there at the house, was it?
No. Okay. No, we were leaving town, so we had someone pick the doggy. I gotta call him. God. I make a note. I have to call Michelle or whatever her name is who's taking care of the dog. Letting her know I'm not going to be able to take him back.
Sure. I'll make one.
Okay. So there is reinforcement on the fence underneath, and over on the other side of the house we have a gate. He actually did. I was watching. Poured concrete, shimmied it up a little bit so that the gate would close and not be a gap. Put extra blanks, fence slats down, screwed them in around to get rid of voids so Murphy couldn't get out. And then we put the flags in the yard. And then he came over before he went out of town that day, and he take Murphy to the edge of the fence so he could see the flag and feel the shock, and he would stay away. But in case he got through the fence, there was a barrier.
Oh, okay. But there was no hammer used that for any stakes or anything.
I didn't do it. I don't think there was.
Okay.
I mean, it's concrete.
Yeah.
Was
it concrete pre-poured, or did you buy the bags?
He poured the bags because we ended up putting the bags on top of it while it dries overnight. And then I took the bags off, threw them away, and put a towel on top.
Okay.
And then threw that away.
Right.
Full of concrete.
And how long ago was that?
I can call JB to find out. It was within the last couple of weeks.
Okay, so it wasn't like a day before or a week before that?
My timeline is so screwed up. I'm not using this as an excuse.
No, I understand.
I'm not using what happened as an excuse. I typically wouldn't remember the details of that. When was Father's Day?
Father's Day was the 18th of June.
I went to the range on Father's Day. I'm thinking, was it done before or after?
You had a lot of wet weather around that time, so
yeah, it poured. I can't remember when it was. It was recent. I don't think it was the day before. It was the day before they left. They left on a Sunday to fly out. He came over that Sunday morning before he left. It may have been Father's Day. He came over. I can't think of the times. What is the Friday I left to go to New York?
You left on 26th.
So 7 days prior. Wait, the Friday before that would be what? 19th. No, the Sunday before the 26th.
Sunday before was going to be the 20th.
Is it Sunday before going to be Father's Day?
Yeah, 18th.
Okay. Then that's the day we finished everything, probably the night or two before. So the weekend before we left, we finished that fence on the side. Okay. And then that day, Sunday, is when he came over on his way out of town and trained Murphy.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Okay. But you don't recall what tools you used out there?
Well, there was a rake. I think they were his tools. I think he took them with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I showed him where all my stuff was, whatever we needed. I mean, I had caulk. Go figure. We caulked the wire in the driveway.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be exposed.
Any tools that you'd use, would you leave them stacked by the side door into the garage?
No. I would typically put them here, and this is always a bone of contention with always called me a work in progress. Not putting things back where they always belong.
Oh, yeah. Now, that side door here.
There was a wire.
Is that locked or unlocked?
I lock it. It has the alarm on that door.
Okay.
We have 2 locks. Deadbolt and the regular lock.
Okay. And they're always locked?
I lock the doors always. I check all the windows. I'm just trying to think now. I'm going back in time. It's like, what did I do that Friday? We were in a hurry to get out. I was running behind. I thought I was on time. I forgot to wash the dish. I'm trying to remember if I checked that or if I checked it.
This is why I mention certain things, just so that I can help you, because sometimes when I say something, it helps someone recall. If you were doing any, what time did you go to the airport on the Friday when you drove?
Wait a minute. When we left Florida?
When you left Florida.
When we left Florida, I think it was right around 6:30.
In the morning?
In the morning.
The day before, the night before, do you do any yard work or anything?
Typically, no. I don't do yard work.
That's what I was wondering. If you use that door to go out into the side yard or something?
I don't think it would have been the day before, because we had did you see the chain link fence in the yard?
Yes.
I just took that down. We had it up. We had the girls from our mother's home at our house as often as we could for play dates and normalcy. We have dogs, so we put this fence up. My handyman skills, you asked for my handyman. Put the holes in the ground and rolled the fence. Put it up and left our doggies on that side with the garage door open so they come in the house and the garage for their water.
Okay.
We haven't used it in years. JB was helping me do the wire. It's like, let me just get rid of this thing. You don't use it. It's just a barrier in the yard. And if we're doing the other side of the house with the ramp up, the guy who mows our yard may not be able to get through it.
Okay.
And that blocks 1.5 of the yard. So I yanked it out of the ground and rolled it up best I could.
Right.
I actually meant to get rid of it, but didn't happen yet. But that was no tools.
Right.
So I didn't bring a hammer out. There's nothing to hammer.
Okay. Your yard guy, that's Juan, yes? Juan Lawn Service?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know the name of the company. But
I'm still waiting to talk to him. I spoke to Alessandra Fortuna, that's your...
yes, she's our cleaner.
And she said she's moved to Tampa.
I was telling you she was moving. She was texting me so many damn times Monday. Give my sister a call. Let her try. She's good. She'll help clean your house. Not realizing what we're dealing with, and I couldn't answer her text. Then she sent another text later saying, I'm so sorry, I just heard.
Now, how long she worked for?
Oh, God. A year.
Okay.
She was recommended. A woman used to work for us for a couple of years. 3-4 years. Then she moved back to Brazil. And she recommended Alessandra, who's from her church. They all go to church, and they're good people. And they come in the house and clean. I have trust issues. I don't give keys out freely. I had an office key she would take when she leaves my house. We just recently did this in the last couple months.
Right.
She'd take the key, go to the office in the morning on Friday mornings. No one's there. In theory, Lincoln's not seeing anybody at 7 o'clock. She'd go to the office 7-ish in the morning. She'd clean the office and leave that key on Doctor's desk.
While she's been working with you, anything I'm missing?
I can't think of anything. No. Nothing that jumps to mind. She breaks things.
Okay.
She broke something that was family. They tell us when they break things. I don't know of anything missing.
I just want to go over the scene a bit. In the kitchen, on the counter, when you were walking in, your mother was with you, and she said that she uses a blender to food.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, man. You walk into the kitchen from the garage. Mm-hmm. Our refrigerator's right here. There's a counter right there. On that counter is a little basket. If it's done right, the lid's on it. If I did it, the lid's off. Mm-hmm. Supplements inside. There's a blender there.
That's on by the sink?
No sink on the other side when you walk in. Here. You walk in the house. This is the kitchen now.
Yeah.
Here's the refrigerator on that counter here.
Right next to the refrigerator.
Right. We have the sink over here. We have a prep sink on the side. It's a joke having it. No garbage disposal. You can't use it.
Right.
And this was this.
But the sink with the garbage disposal
is in the center. Yeah, okay. It's a big sink with a soap dish.
Would your mother put the blender over by that sink?
Oh, well, she could, okay. Because if this is now the sink, We have, I don't know if she uses RO water. We do. You'd fill it up with the water and fill the dog bowl. We use our RO water and fill it up and pour it in the dog bowl water. So it could be there. I mean, I have no idea.
Can you describe what your wife keeps her credit cards in and her driver's license?
Yeah, it's her multicolored billfold. It's stuffed. It's always hard to close for me. I hate going in her wallet. She keeps her DEA license in there, her medical license.
Where does she normally keep that?
So stuff behind stuff within there.
Where would she keep that purse?
Oh, in her purse.
In her purse,
In her
the
purse.
handbag, or the black?
No, it'd be in her actual purse.
Okay.
Now, the only difference may be, I made sure she had a license before we left at the airport. Asked her, she had at least $20 on her. I like her having more. She wants only 20, and she had her license. So the only reason it wouldn't be where it normally is that I can think of is if she had to use it.
Okay.
Like she had to pay to get out of the parking garage. If she used her card for that. If she stopped and got gas, which doesn't make sense. She's in my car. There's plenty of gas.
Yeah.
She won't take my car to work. She hates driving my car. I hate driving her car. It works out great. So I don't. That's the only reason I would think that it wouldn't be where it normally would be.
Okay. I'm just going over certain things we want to identify certain things that she keeps. Can you describe what her actual purse looks like? Not the black one with the books in it. What's her?
If you showed me a picture, I could tell you if it's her purse. She has, and you notice in her closet where that safe was, there's a whole bunch of purses up and down. I don't remember what purse she had.
Okay.
I mean, I could look at a picture and tell you.
Do you recall what shoes she was wearing?
I do.
What's she wearing?
I think it was like a tan top, very small at the top, and a big thick sole. And that's because I saw the picture. I mean, I've looked at that picture so many times. That's the last picture.
Does she have a pair of black shoes with like a floral design with?
Oh yes, flip flops.
Okay. Where would she keep those normally?
Flip flops. How long is?
They're like sort of high heel flip flop.
Yeah, they're thick.
Yes. Did she bring those with her to New York?
I thought she left those behind. I thought those were her. No, those are hers. My daughter wears the same shoes sometimes. And she was going to take one pair of flip-flops back with her and leave us with just one for Josie. And Josie said, I want to keep them both. So she did. I was thinking that was one she was keeping. Her suitcase.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that's what she'd wear on a plane.
Okay.
That's what she wears around the house.
Now, mannerisms. When she gets home, is she going to immediately bring everything into the house, or will she leave it in the garage?
It's hard to answer because if I'm home, when she gets home, she comes in, I get her stuff out of the car, bring it in the room, I unpack her suitcase for her, put her toiletries in the counter. I don't go through her bags for her toiletry stuff where they go because I never know where that stuff goes. But I set her hair dryer, whatever she brings on her counter. I put all of her stuff relatively where it goes, and then I take the suitcase and put it away. I don't know. My way of doing it, we get home, take everything out of the car. She's by herself. She should have taken everything out of the car. Dogs jump on her, love her, close the door, set the alarm, and feed the dogs her carrots, give them a little treat, and probably just get ready for bed and I don't know, and go to the gun first, because that's the first thing she should do when she gets to that house, is make sure she has that gun accessible.
And where is that gun?
This is our bed. This whole thing is our bedroom. Here's my bed. This is my side. This is my side. I have a little, like a TV stand I use for it. A nightstand.
Okay.
She bugs the hell out of her. Just buy a nightstand. I just don't see the need. This works fine. I have a little lockbox on top, and it's right there.
So what's the lockbox look like?
It's a black box, probably bigger than the sheet of paper, that has the keypad, a little black plug, which is where the key goes, if you don't remember the combination, and a knob. It's probably this thick.
Okay.
Inside of it is my SIG, and it's carry holster.
Okay, what model SIG is it?
A P226.
Okay. That's 9mm?
9mm. I've had it it's been my dad's for decades. It's the old one.
Is it Is it the black finish or is it a nickel finish?
Black finish, and it has West Germany stamped on it.
Okay.
So it's one of the older ones. The newer ones are USA.
Right.
I just found out the significance of that in the last 6 months. I didn't know that. And it's right there.
Okay.
And what I would like her to do is open it up as soon as she gets in the house so she has it. The dogs would have greeted her. She would have been worried about coming into an empty house. Every time she's been home alone, she calls me. She's called Uncle Mark, Mark Petrides. She's called the police. And you guys come to the house. She hears a noise. And I was just telling the story. At one time she called the police and they said, "Oh, I remember you from last time." It was the same officer that came out to the house to check it for some
What was
noise.
that time?
Within the last couple of years. The easiest way to find that out is to check they probably have some log note.
What did she call them for then?
I'm trying to remember the times. She heard a noise. And she's on the phone, she's talking to me, and she's like, I've got all these. At one point, she heard a noise, she called me. I was being stupid. I'm like, okay, go to my lockbox, get the gun out. And she goes, it's like, okay, get out of the house. Like, wait a second, get out of the house. I'm sorry, I'm thinking it's me. The kids are with me, get out of the house. She heard a noise in the back. The dogs were with her and the cat was with her. They weren't going crazy. If I open that door, they go crazy.
Right.
So it's like, it's not likely anybody's there. Err on the side of caution. Get the hell out of the house. Don't go to your car. You go out the first door you can and you get out. And I don't remember if that was the same time when she called Mark or she called the police. There was a time when she was on the phone with me and we're talking and I go, how are you feeling? What's going on? What do you see around you? Do you hear any noises, any footprints? She was panicked. It's like, she goes, I think I'm going to be okay. And the phone goes dead.
Okay.
911 immediately. I was in St. Louis, I think, or in Orlando. Sent the police to the house and I called her back. Cops are there and she's yelling, how do you call the cops? I go, you got disconnected.
Right.
Someone could be in the house. Of course I'm calling the cops. And she was embarrassed. I mean, she's a local doctor. She didn't want to be, no, you're the one who keeps calling the police, you know.
Those dogs will go nuts if someone's in the house.
They go nuts when I'm in the house. They go nuts when you walk in the house. I don't think it's a good thing they go nuts. I think they're older. They don't know who we are at first. Hey, it's okay, babies. It's Dad. They stop.
But if someone walks in your driveway, will those dogs bark? So it'd be common knowledge that you have a dog in the house or dogs in the house.
I don't know if you hear them from outside the house.
Right.
Because I don't walk to the door with it closed. I open the garage door and they open the... Nana opens the garage door.
And that's how she opens the...
Nana opens the garage door with her paw. And comes
okay.
and comes and meets us. And that's happened where she set the alarm off.
All right.
I was in a bathtub one night. Home. I had the alarm on because I didn't expect her home so early. I'm in a bathtub and I have the gun next to me. All of a sudden, the alarm's going off. I grab the gun. I run out to the front to my girls. She was walking in and Nana had opened the door to the... I didn't lock it. I thought I locked the door. I didn't lock the door. She opened it and the alarm goes off. And anyway, so it's all...
And that's the garage door that goes out to the garage from the house?
From the house to the garage.
Yeah. Now, when your mother goes over to feed the dogs, what door does she go through?
She should go through the garage door that goes up and down,
okay,
into the garage where the van is parked, into the house that way.
So she wouldn't go through the front door?
Doesn't even have a key to the front door.
Okay. Does anybody have a key to that front door?
Wow. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't recall.
Just have a think about it for a second, Mark. I'm just going to... do you want a glass of water or something?
No, how much longer are we?
It shouldn't take too much longer.
Can you tell me the time?
It's 10 to 1.
No, you gotta get out of here.
So I'm just going to go and see... I'll back in a couple of seconds.
Who has a key to the house? The mom? Oh my God. What could I have done? If I was with you, this wouldn't have happened. If I came back, this wouldn't have happened. I should have come back with you that night. I'm sorry I didn't come back with you. my gosh. Calm down. Right to this. I love you. You're here. It would be so much easier for you to do this than me, honey. You have such a message to spread.
Yes, sir. My name's David. I work with Jamie. Do you need a bathroom break or anything?
I just need to talk to my doctors. I need to make sure they're okay. You guys still have my phone?
As we do right now. Do you want me to you want to make a phone call?
Well, I just want to see if they text me.
The phone's not here. It's at our forensics building right now.
You know that I don't need to make a phone call.
Okay, I'll bring it with you, okay?
Do you know how much
Can I get you one?
Okay. Is Jamie coming back, or?
I'm not sure what his time frame is. I'm going to go over a little bit more with you, and we'll get you going, okay?
Great.
I'll be right with you. Thanks for your patience.
What's your name again?
David. Okay. How do you want me to address you?
Mark.
Mark's
How
fine.
should I address you?
David. Perfect. Right with you, Mark.
Oh my God. You gotta talk to the funeral director.
I know you've been talking to us a lot, and I can tell you from personal experience that when I lost a family member, we'll repeat things because we remember things at different times.
I'm okay with
and we look at it. I just don't want to frustrate you because you're going through a lot. You've already been through a lot, so I just want to go slow with you, and I don't want to frustrate you. So if I ask you additional questions that you think you've answered before, you've been asked, it's not to be weird with you at all. It's just I know different times we get it improves our memory. Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
You tell me.
Sure.
I wanted to know. I spoke to the funeral director. When I was coming in here, he called.
Okay.
He said my wife's been released to him today.
Okay.
Can't she have an open viewing?
That'll be. They're gonna go over that with you, the funeral director. That'll be on
That's
what?
it. That's with them, not with you guys. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, that'll be up to them, and they'll go over the details with you about that, and they'll afford you the ability to see your loved one. Like I said, from experience and personally.
You've lost somebody?
Yeah, my brother. So yeah, I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances. But they'll sit with you and they will take their time with you and they will answer all of your questions. So just try and think of things and have someone there with you that because you may forget things because you're upset right now. When you go to see them.
I saw them yesterday.
Oh.
We saw them yesterday because
Take your time. There's no rush.
we have friends that are calling me, texting me, telling me what I need to do, sending me texts so I don't forget to do it, which is pathetic because
It's not pathetic. You have a lot on your plate right now.
I feel like it's pathetic.
It's not.
I
It's
should
normal.
know what to do, but I don't.
No, it's normal. It's normal. It's normal.
I'm so bad.
Yep.
I go through.
You will. Everything you're feeling is right. Everything you're feeling is right. Just take your time. Breathe. Breathe with me. Slow it down.
Life is so much better this time.
It's okay. You're gonna find your way through this. You know that, right? You're gonna find your way through this. You're gonna find your way through this. Just give yourself the opportunity, okay?
I know. I have to breathe. I know.
You will.
That.
You will.
And my wife. Get out of your emotional mind right now. Focus on logic. This is what you need to do. Put the emotions away. It's like, and I know,
You will.
Sometimes I'm better. I could talk 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then all of a sudden I break down.
That's absolutely
And it's like,
normal. That's normal.
It's crazy. I'm sorry, this is
No,
slowing down.
it's not crazy.
No.
No, this is fine. This is fine. There's no problem with that at all. You're doing a good job. Yes, you may. Someone unexpectedly killed them in a car crash. But these things happen. So
and that's one of our favorite lines in our not these things happen. Our favorite lines in our houses. It is what it is. Yeah.
It truly is. We just kind of find our way and wander through it all, and these things just continue to happen around us. It happens to everybody. That's why I try and remind myself there's something special about me. It just happens to everybody, and we'll find our way through it.
She had so much to offer the world. Mm-hmm. She was really, everyone says this about their wife, their kids are special. My kids are phenomenal. Sure. I should have been home.
Well,
she really is on track to change the world. She has her own TV show. She's going to take healthcare to a whole other level. My daughter said, Daddy, she shouldn't have to go through life without mommy. But you're
right?
She's consoling me.
None of it's... Kids are amazing like that. Kids are amazing like that. I have an 8 and I have a 14-year-old, so they're amazing. They're gonna help you out a lot, and you're gonna be good for them too.
I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I say it instinctively, and everyone's telling me to shut up. I just, I'm trying to control it because I want to be able to get through this. I get to see our doggies. I want to see our doggies take pictures and bring them home for my babies because they miss their doggies.
Sure, absolutely. We'll make sure that happens. We're going to get there. Okay. So there's some things I want to talk to you about, and again, even after today, as we move forward with processing your house, there may be some things I want you to take a look at to clarify details on certain things. Now, I know we were just talking about...
Was there a motorcycle in my garage?
I remember seeing a motorcycle, yes.
You were actually at my house?
No, I saw pictures of it. I'm going to probably go by your house today.
The only reason I ask is someone could have taken it, that's fine. Sure. But then we have something else to look for.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things...
Key in the motorcycle, I always keep it in there.
That's one of the things we're going to ask you about. It will be... And I don't expect you to remember exactly. When we go on a trip, we pack our luggage, and there's certain items we take with us depending on the type of trip, whether it's jewelry or special keepsakes and things of that nature. When we're finally going through her luggage and evaluating all of the items
Can
with her...
Tell me where her luggage was?
It appeared to me like there was some in the garage and maybe some inside the house. But we'll talk more about that.
That gives me a timeline. That means it happened when she walked in. I'm hearing people say they heard her scream at 4 or 5 in the morning. That's not true. Unless...
People remember things different ways, plus...
Because she would have brought her luggage in.
Try and remember what you remembered sleeping and hearing something the night before or 2 nights later. Spare me on that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Unless some people have really good memories.
So she could have walked in on something? Someone could have followed her?
That's highly possible. That's also highly possible.
They said they saw no evidence of that from the surveillance at the airport.
Right.
Followed her from there?
Right. We didn't see that.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to put this together in my mind, and I'm just trying to.
That's what we're here for. That's exactly what we're here for.
I can't get answers.
To try and do that with you. We're trying to do that with you because we're going to take a team approach on this.
So
obviously,
some luggage was in the garage.
So what I'm wondering, the whole point of me bringing it up, you're good. Well, is eventually we're going to want to take some pictures of the items and review it with you and see if there's anything missing. Offhand, do you remember her bringing? What does she normally bring with her on a trip?
Clothes, makeup. I mean jewelry, guys.
Sure.
You mean jewelry or just everything?
All of it.
Everything. Travel shoes, comfortable clothes. I know she was wearing a black dress. She didn't have her jacket on anymore. He showed me a picture from the airport. I had a picture, which
Just breathe. Go slow breathing. That way you get oxygen and it makes you feel better. And through the nose.
Hyperventilating. Thank you.
There you go. See?
Okay.
You're good. Take your time.
Can we get some photos from you guys? The last photo I took was her saying goodbye to our girls. Her hair was over her face. We couldn't see her face. Is there an opportunity when all this is done to get some photos from the airport?
Oh, of how she appeared?
Yeah.
I imagine I could try and pull some still images. I can look into that. Just remind me, because there's a lot going on right now. But later on, if you remind me, we'll see what we can do.
Sorry, okay, she would take with her...
Is it clothing?
Her clothing. It varied. We always joked, like, you're only going for 2 freaking days. Why do you bring so much stuff?
She packed a lot?
She usually did.
That's good, okay.
But then again, I packed... Wow,
I'm the same way. I was bringing an extra couple days. You never know.
Yeah. She was not coming home. She'd bring it with her.
But you went up there for what?
We went up Friday morning for my mother-in-law's 75th anniversary, so 75th birthday celebration.
Okay.
Mimi turned 75 in March. The whole family put it on hold as far as a big party celebration until we can get up and get there.
Together, right.
We flew up Friday morning, stayed in New York at a house they rented.
Nice.
Through Sunday afternoon when we had to leave the house. We didn't have to leave immediately because the other renters coming in weren't coming right away. So we had all day to stay there.
Nice.
Since we had to catch a flight to LaGuardia, we stayed as long as we could. So she wouldn't have to wait any additional hours at the airport.
Right.
We had her wedding ring, wedding band, her mother's ring I got her like last year or so. Probably some costume jewelry, which I never cared for, but she always loved it. It's turquoise and silver, maybe some big costume jewelry thing that she liked. A big, I guess I did like it, a metal silver bracelet, Helen color inscription.
Do you remember what it said?
Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. She was leaving. We were leaving Sunday, getting packed up, and she goes, "Where's my bracelet?" Because it was on the counter. She forgot it at the house in New York. I go, "Well, Kelly pulled it. Kelly, Frankie's girlfriend." I go, "She gave it. It's right here." She put it on. I go, "When did I give that to you anyway? Was that when you were born?" I can't remember. She goes, "Well, we're moving down here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, so it was after. And we're making a great big move from St. Petersburg to here. I'm just rambling. Focus. What does she bring with her? She doesn't do her hair. She does it straight. So maybe she won't do curls anymore. So it's like a straight iron, maybe. Something like that. Makeup.
Is there a certain brand of makeup she liked to wear?
I don't know the brands. It's through Jane Cut, and we know the person who sells it to her.
Is that?
I can give you her name.
Sure.
I got to make sure. I know it's an investigation. I'm okay with HIPAA, right? She's a patient of ours.
We're not talking about her medical record at all. We're only talking about her name because she sells makeup, right?
Beautiful.
You're good.
Beautiful. Jane Coding. JAYNE KOEDDING. She has KOEDDING. I can't remember what I did yesterday morning, but I remember someone's name. She has an organic spa store in Naples. That's where to buy her makeup.
In Naples? What's it called?
I think it's called Organic Spa.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I mean, I have that in my phone.
Do you have, shifting gears for a minute, there's a lockbox and there's safe codes.
Yes.
Do you know those codes off the top of your head?
Lockbox, yes.
Okay, lockbox, go ahead.
Are they there right now? Good, that means it's locked. The gun wasn't used. Is it bad? Okay. 6896. Let them know. I mean, they're cops. They're going to know. There's a loaded 9mm.
We'll be good.
One in the chamber, and it's in the carry holster.
Okay. And safe.
I have to get there to look at them.
Close your eyes with it for me. Is it a right, left, right?
I don't even know the combination. There's a safe, a big safe.
Oh, I misunderstood you there.
There's 4 safes.
Okay.
So which safe are you referring to? I'm just trying to think. One. Hello. It's a combination. My daughters know it. You know part of it. I can't think of it. Let me, can I see your phone?
Sure.
Just like a keypad.
Yep.
Okay. Small safe. Okay. Let me tell you where they are so you can isolate this. Okay, it's the only one that's a Sentry. The Sentry safe.
Okay.
It's a white safe, and it's 78880.
7880.
I don't think there might be a third 8. And it's important that they don't push the lock button on there. I don't know where the key is for that. So there's a key that you can open it with. We haven't been able to find that key in like 8-9 years. So it's just that code,
right?
And then you lift the lever up. The other safe. There's one underneath it. That's a key. There's my rifle safe. That is the combination. I have no idea. I need to be there to do that.
All right, say that again. There's
There's a Sentry Link, which I gave you.
Okay.
Underneath it is another safe that I have the dial taped over. It's strictly a keyhole. Then to the right when you first walk in my room, which is my
keyhole. Do you have the key for that?
It's all throughout the house. I have it set up where it's hard to find. You got to open one thing up to get to another. And
where's the key for the small one underneath the small white Sentry safe?
I can't think of it.
Okay. No rush. Take your time. Do some breathing with me, all right? Try and hold it in a little bit longer. See how good that feels? There you go.
I can't.
It's fine. There's 3 other safes.
The long rifle safe. No way of knowing that. I have it in the other safes.
The code or the key?
Well, the code. Well, the long rifle is just a code. The dial. And that long rifle.
Is that the last one?
No, that's the
third one. The long rifle.
And that has strictly a dial. And when I open up a different safe, then I have the code for that one.
Okay.
And then I have the first safe when you first walk in. Well, I can't really walk in my closet. When you open my closet door, I have one big safe.
Yeah.
Rifles. You saw
No. I'm just tracking with you. Go ahead.
The big safe. I can't think of keypad. I don't want that much. I can't think of that one. That one has handguns in it and ammunition. 9mm 38. Some old handguns in it. Collector handguns. And 38s that I went to the range with a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to complete blank.
That's fine. We'll come back to it. Relax. No big deal. Okay. All right. So Jane coding.
Yes.
It's the makeup. She's the one who gives her the makeup. Okay.
Well, sells it to her.
Sells it to her.
It's a little expensive, but yeah, that's what she likes. She only uses the best, nice quality, organic stuff.
What about if she's washing her hair or her body? Does she use a certain shampoo or a certain body wash?
Yeah.
What does she use?
Typically, it's Tate's. What's wrong?
Send pictures of the safes to try and help us.
You said she?
Yeah, it's one of my texts over there.
That really sucks. My safe was locked. That means this happened when she walked in the house. Because what she would have done when I talked to her about doing every time we're separated at home, she goes into a room, opens up the lockbox, takes the gun out.
Is there a code in this safe for the next safe?
Not that lockbox. Because I keep that all separate. We keep that separate. That's for immediate use. And that box can be picked up and walked out with.
Right.
So I don't have, I'm silly. Not silly. I'm stupid like that. I'm very big on self-protection. Mm-hmm. But I'm big enough to put a camera.
Well, camera doesn't protect you.
No, but it can
document.
It could get all this resolved. And it could be a deterrent.
Well,
and it could be a deterrent.
It can be.
I carry. If I was with her, I could have the gun on me.
Sure. Well, right now, let's focus on calming down. What we're going to do together. Is it all right if I touch your arm?
Yes, sir.
What we're going to do together is we're going to focus on details, and it's going to help us figure this out. So we're going to maintain our calm, we'll breathe, and what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what led up to this. Okay?
Thank
and
you.
then afterwards, we'll focus on the anger and the grief. It'll be there. We'll do it, but not right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I guess I was focusing on my small
Your frustration.
My hand box was locked because you need the code.
Right.
That means my wife had no time to get to our bedroom.
And you said
Because
that's her habit.
I
When she
don't
gets
know
home?
what she does. It's what I've always told her to do for the last decade.
When you get home.
When you go out of town, come in the house, you go to the box, open up, you take the gun out.
Right. That way you're ready.
You know it's right there.
Ready to accessible.
Even when she didn't like guns, she knew where it was. You open the box, you leave it open, you see it, you know where it is. She's been shooting.
Yes.
She's been target shooting. Were you talking
I'm
to
listening
me?
to you.
Oh, you said yes. I thought you were talking to me.
She's verifying that she was able to get into the code work. Good job.
Yeah, well, it's her.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's she would take for the last 6 months to a year. She's been target shooting.
Okay.
She hated guns.
But
Her first date was at a gun range.
Oh, that's neat.
It's my first love.
Hey,
So
okay.
I've always said she's a perfect woman now.
Awesome.
The only thing in our relationship missing was guns, and it's like, oh my god, she's
did it.
target shooting.
Yeah.
She loves it. She's enjoying it. She's good.
Where'd you guys go?
Luland.
Luland?
You know,
That's in St. Pete, Florida? Or?
Actually, it's south. Marco. It's Port of the Isles or something like
Okay.
that.
No, never
Dr.
been.
Lopez and Lou own it. And they have a spot there for self-defense. They
Nice.
do a training. They do police shooting there and stuff
Nice.
like that.
Okay.
And he taught her. He said we were within 5 hours for her safety course. She was right on.
Right.
She had her arm. She was doing great. It's like,
Right.
yes.
Nice.
If she ever needs it, I know she at least has the
Right.
skill set. Whether
To do
you
it.
freeze or not, you don't know. But at least she won't be afraid to grab a gun.
You know how to use it, right?
And again, people say, well, I have high magazine clips for target shooting, so you don't have to keep reloading. And I also thought for protection.
Oh, sure.
And they're like, why would you use a high capacity magazine for protection? It's like, because I've never had anybody shooting at me. I've never had to shoot anybody.
Right.
I don't know I may freeze. I may miss 30 times. I don't know.
Right.
I hope not. But,
Right.
But in case, you never know.
And people say a lot of silly things.
So I have the 15-round clip in the chamber. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back to focus.
Shampoo and body wash.
Tates. Is what
Tates?
Tates is what she typically uses for. Actually, it's a shampoo, and we use it as body wash too.
Is it another one of the organic things? It's healthy?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No problem. I just want to verify.
Some kind of a brown bottle, plastic flat shampoo bottle for. Oh wow. I guess that's what she uses for shampoo. We use the Tates for body wash. She has like a coconut oil, kind of a shampoo and conditioner that she uses. And that wouldn't be in her travel bags. I don't think she traveled with all that.
That's what I'm wondering too. Is
I
what do you
what
think
she
you're bringing
traveled with was a small. I know what it was.
Tell me.
Did she leave it? A small little bottle because of airplanes, and
Right.
it says conditioner on it, but it had shampoo in it.
And do you remember? Was it a brand or something
That was a generic thing, that probably a hotel thing. But she put her.
She would
Tates-
refill it.
She put her Tates in it. Yeah.
Right.
Jewelry. She might have had. I know she had the square necklace on with the color on it. 'Cause I think Jamie told me that.
Right.
She may have had a diamond necklace, which was from her father, a gold petal. Maybe
Okay.
not. If not, it's hanging up in her bathroom.
Okay.
She might have had a crystal, Swarovski, one of those crystals that Michelle gave her. Michelle is the husband. Michelle's the wife of the husband who found
All right, Michelle
Michelle
is...
Petrides. She's in law school right now. She just started.
Where's she going to school?
Indiana.
And that's the wife of...
Dr. Petrides who found
Or what's his first name?
Mark.
Okay.
This is
All right, and I think Nolan, Jamie ran it down with you, but you said you had your fence worked on a month ago.
no.
How long ago?
I you know what? I may have said a month ago.
That's what I thought I heard. But what do you remember?
Yeah, we were talking at the end.
Sure.
Meaning before he left. We had a diagram. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's fine, don't worry.
On the diagram, I wrote the dates. That's what I was saying. I need to know the dates because we were trying to figure out the timeline. Right before Father's Day.
Okay.
Because
A week before?
no,
Month?
right. I mean,
Oh,
right
a day
before, because JB and Nancy. JB helped me with the ball. He helped me. He did the fence, and I helped him push it in the hole. He did
Good. Well, teamwork,
He did the work. I don't. Anyway, he was doing it. We were watching their doggy form. We had to put the fence up. We did some concrete. He did concrete work around the yard.
Nice.
Like where the gates go.
And you said his name's JB?
JB.
And what's his last name?
Teresa Tarrett.
Tarrette.
His wife is Dr. Nancy Teresa. They're in California for a month. They're going to fly down. Obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but they're flying down now.
Sure.
We got to find out when we're able to do things so I can let people make their arrangements.
Right. You'll get there.
And he helped. He did the fence, and he came over on Father's Day, I think.
Check on it.
No, brought Murphy over, the doggy, so that we can train him on the fence quickly.
Wow.
And then he went out. They left that day to go out of town.
Nice.
So we worked on the fence for a couple of days, and then
What
finished
kind of fence is it?
underground electric wire.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You know, and they asked me the color of it. At the time, I couldn't tell them. I said either green, red, or yellow. I know what the fence color was now. It was yellow. We have green and red in the garage because we had old fence that we pulled up. I always keep the wire because you never know. Like I keep a strip of wire off, small strip in my motorcycle bag.
Sure.
Because not that I would know how to jumpstart anything or to bypass things, but someone might.
Someone might.
And cables have a little wire.
Oh, MacGyver. Concept.
Yeah, the concept. I'm not that person. At least I can have some of the stuff. Someone else can do it.
Sure. Where would you keep stuff like that? Would that ever be?
It's easy
Around the house, or would that only be in the garage or in a tool bag, or what?
No, it should be in the garage, but we just worked on it the week before we left. It wouldn't be, well, the only reason it'd be in the house is if my daughters had some in their bag.
Sure.
But I don't like them taking wire in their bag.
Right.
They have rope, flashlight, camera.
Oh, they're prepared like Daddy?
Oh, they saved us a couple of times. We did a show a couple of years ago about talk. My wife was doing a talk, and we needed some tape, and I was trying to hang a banner up. Tape. We needed something else like a clip or something. Pull that out of her bag.
There we go.
So they had it's like
what you needed. That's cute.
Anyway, so they're very creative.
That's cute.
They actually started their own business.
Really? What do they do?
It's called U2. Can make a difference. They help kids who have nothing.
It's nice.
They help foster care girls and boys.
Really nice. It's nice. You have a very nice family.
They actually have an LLC. They tax ID,
clever.
everything. They pay
That's
people.
clever. Wow.
They pay people to do it. They have their own business account. They actually.
That's cute.
My accountant is set up.
That's nice.
They're homeschooled. You want to give them everything they can to do it.
Have something to do and look forward to. It's
and
nice.
if they choose not to do it, don't touch it another day, and we're fine.
Okay.
But if you're going to do it, we're going to try to do it the right way.
Oh, it's good.
I know tangents. I apologize for that.
No, I don't mind at all. It's nice to hear about your family and get a better perspective of knowing you. You know, so I can understand this a little better.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Right. Well, as much as I can.
I'm sorry.
None of us can ever
I wasn't taking a dig. It was just.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Any other work besides the fence? Any other kind of construction?
We did the concrete on both fences, right where the gate goes.
And that's all with JB.
JB, yeah. Okay. Well, I say we. When I say we, it's him.
Got it.
I was there.
Let's just say we. It'll be fine.
He poured the concrete, built it up on one side because to keep Murphy from digging through the hole in case he got through the gate. And then the other side, we laid stone down. And we had a fence in the backyard, a chain link fence dividing off one small section. When we had the OMH girls over at the house for parties and stuff, we had our dogs in that small section going into the garage, out that garage door that I can guess was broken into. And they'd come in the house in the garage for their water, and they'd be on their own. That way they could be away from the kids.
Smart.
We haven't used it in over 5 years. So since we built that concrete side up, the guy who mows our lawn may not be able to get his lawnmower through it. So I just ripped. This is my handyman. I ripped a chain link fence out of the ground and rolled it up as best I could.
Sure.
So that's why it's on the side of the yard.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell you asked me. Oh, any work? We had somebody come to the house, which I forgot about. They power washed the fence for me.
When was this?
2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. I'd have to look to see.
Okay.
They power washed the fence. They power washed the deck.
So you don't remember the name of the company or anything?
Actually, Simon. Simon. It was a common name, and he was changing his business name.
It'd probably be in your cell phone, right?
It might be my cell phone.
Or at least in some kind of
It would definitely be my checkbook register at work. My QuickBooks file, because I wrote a check. And he came back a day or so later and worked on my paver, my backyard, my pool paver.
Oh, nice.
The first day they power washed the whole yard, power washed the house, or the driveway. The walkway made it as nice as I could. I was trying to have it a little cleaned up. The fence, they fixed a gutter on the house for me. which is a screw, but they took care of it for me.
Nice.
I've been wanting to for 5 years, and it's pretty
Yeah, make time.
Yeah. And then they power washed my deck because we had mold and mildew in it.
Sure.
The next day they came back and spent all day, and they were taking pavers out of the ground, compacting with concrete and water, and putting it back and making it level because we didn't want to have people over. Our deck was such a trip hazard.
Oh,
When
sure.
my daughters would play, I'd say, girls, be careful. Remember, because there were big gaps.
Mm-hmm.
There were two guys. They never came in the house. I don't recall them ever going in the garage. Maybe I may have given them water in the garage. I don't remember. I met them because I was coming down the street and I saw their van or truck pulling up. It had a sign on the side, something landscaping or power washing or something.
It'll be in your checkbook.
Yeah, I asked me, what are you guys doing? Oh, I do business. Good. Got his name, came over that day and gave us estimates and got it all taken care of.
Nice.
Sorry.
So that's how you located who they were.
That's why, that's the found them on the
Saw them
street.
in the
They were just, I figured you can business anybody you want. We like keeping things as local as we can.
Sure.
We don't like supporting big chains.
Sure.
We don't like Walmart. We go when we have to. We don't like it. We like the little mom and pop shop, even though they're more expensive. These guys are out hustling jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're hungry.
Sure.
Give them the freaking job.
I agree.
If someone's going to do it, why not give it to them versus a great big company with all their overhead? Anyway, where are we at with your questions?
Right. Your dogs, you said Murphy's the name of one dog?
Murphy isn't with us. He's at someone else's house. They picked him up before we went out of town. We left.
What dog was left home?
We have 2 dogs left home. Nana. I can't even think. Nana and Lucy.
So you have 3 dogs total?
Well, no, Murphy's not our dog. We were watching him.
Gotcha.
And the night before we left out of town, someone else picked him up for the week.
Okay, so Nana and Lucy were left home?
And then Zoe is our kitty cat. And they said they have all 3 dogs, all 3 of our animals in protective custody.
I know what you mean. Relax. Stop judging yourself so much. Give yourself a break, okay? You're doing a good job. You're answering my questions, and this is going to help.
I feel like I'm taking too long.
You're helping.
I'm rambling.
No, you're not. You're not taking too long. You're doing it just right, okay? It's your pace. Okay.
Thank you.
The dogs, are they loud dogs?
Oh, God, they bark up a storm. I walk in, they go crazy. They get
Even
babies.
for you?
Babies at Sadie, they stop. They hear the motorcycle, they go crazy. They get up in the middle of the night, go barking. I jump up, grab the gun. They see a rabbit in the front yard.
So they're sensitive.
They're very sensitive.
Okay.
Now, one of them is very old. Lucy has very bad hips. And that's why I really want to make sure she's okay because she's on a special diet. We have the raw organic food in the freezer for her.
Right, to help her out.
I know they're not getting it. They're getting regular dog food and they have
Problem.
allergies to stuff.
Sure.
I just don't know how they're doing.
Well, sooner we can get
and
them
I
back to you, we
asked-
will. Yes.
I asked Dr. Jamie.
I know what you mean.
Detective
Relax.
Jamie. Is there a possibility the dog spit the hell out of somebody? He says no. He didn't think that was the case.
Not that we observed. Yeah.
I was hoping.
Me too.
DNA.
Anything we can get, trust me. We're looking at all ideas, and anytime you have an idea, I'm interested in it.
I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
I should have, but okay.
You can ask me whatever you want.
The first day, Jamie and Captain Murphy came out to the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful as hell we did. Thank you, guys. Before they left, they said, we're going to do everything we can to catch them. Is that just me hanging on every single word and dissecting it afterwards? Is there proof of more than one person?
The way when we say, let me answer your question.
It was a generic.
It was a generic comment.
Okay.
That's all it is.
And then, of course, I'm here. I picked it up hours later.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, was she tied up? Was she tortured? I mean,
right. That's fair.
Someone screamed at 4 in the morning. It's like, what happened?
That's the same questions I would have too. No, that's you pay attention.
And this is something I wanted to ask whenever we got here, and I just
no problem.
Forgot.
I don't mind you interrupting at all. It's no problem.
Okay.
All right. So the dogs are loud, but Lucy's older. But Nana would still be allowed as well.
Oh, they both fight at each other, and they bite at each other. They bite on her finger.
She tried to separate
one
them?
time, a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And she told me about it, and she goes, take it easy. She goes, I've tried separating them. I love our dogs. If they bite my daughters, the dogs are gone.
It was on her left hand or right hand?
I think she said, I think it was her left hand.
Okay.
But there's a little scratch mark on it. And
which one bit her, do you know?
she was, they didn't bite her. I think it was like nicked her with the teeth, kind of a thing. Like they're biting each other. She goes, stop it. She's grabbing them. And I'm home. I break them up. I grab one. I yell, stop. And they stop. And I pull one aside because don't want them biting anyone.
No, it's
And they
bad
can't
behavior
bite
to learn.
They can't bite my kids.
Oh, sure.
You bite once, who knows what they're going to do? I mean, I don't know.
I agree.
We've had them all our lives, but still.
I agree.
We have the special tape on our windows for my daughter's bedrooms. So if someone were to hit it with a bat, it's not going to break the window. They shoot it with a gun. It's going to make more noise to bring me before they come into the room. In addition to the alarms, we have the that special film you put on your windows. Had someone come out, we had the house. Well, we got the house. We did that.
Okay. So it just made them stronger.
It makes it stronger and it's more resistant.
It's more like safety glass because it would peel as opposed to just shatter everywhere. Is what you're saying? Because it's tape.
I don't even know.
Okay, that's fine.
I just know we paid money extra to have somebody call it afterwards because it was going to safeguard my girls' rooms.
Understood.
They do martial arts. My wife's learning how to shoot more, and it was just
right. Right.
We talked to her carrying. She has her permit. Her permit's in her wallet. She didn't carry a gun yet. She wanted to go back to the range.
She wasn't ready yet. She wasn't ready yet. That's not something you want to take on lightly. So it's good that she had that kind of perspective. Now, you've had a little bit of time, not a lot, a little bit of time since you've received this news. Is there any reason you could think why this happened? And when I say that, this is a very broad question. And what I mean by that is there anything going on in your lives at work, your personal lives, anything that you've noticed in your neighborhood, any people you notice that spend too much time paying attention to you and your family, anything at all? Very broad question.
On purpose.
On purpose. Trying to get your mind a jog.
I'm trying to remember because I just had you tell me this last night. Them. My sister-in-law reminded me of a conversation with them over the weekend in New York. We have a medical center, a sterile medical center. We have a small office there, but we're part owner in the whole project. It's trying to give a nutshell. We have the building in 4 acres. The building encompasses 4 acres and then 7 acres around it. We've been wanting to sell it. We had an offer on the table to buy it. The nuts and bolts. We owe $9 million on the building, on everything. We owe $9 million. If they take the building, they pay us $10 million for the building. Everybody gets a portion of that extra $1 million, whatever's left, and then they would take the land. They'd either pay us $2 million up front for the land, or we wait a year and a half and they pay us $3 million. No, fuck it, screw it. Sell it now. Money up front. Like, no, you don't know what you're saying. It makes more sense. It's a business opportunity. We go in business, we collaborate with them, and they build this memory center, and then at the end of that year and a half, they pay us more money. And she's like, it doesn't make sense. This is wrong. We need to sell it now for the money that they're offering. We had a lot of meetings and talks about it. Ultimately, it came out to say that what she said, they were saying the worst case scenario is they give us the $10 million for the building, they fall through on the land, we get our land back. And it's like, that's not how it works. No business is going to work like that. She was right, and push came to shove. They wanted us to go in business with them, put the land up as collateral. Mm-hmm. If their business failed, they lose their money they put up. We lose our land that we were trying to sell. Right. We also are now on the hook for whatever the monies were associated with that business venture.
Sure. She
was right on the money. Didn't know why. It was her intuition. And that was an issue. No one threatened her, but they didn't like it. Well, here shows up in the meeting. She's here for this meeting. She goes, I don't want to be in business with you. I don't know if she said you assholes or not, but I don't want to be in business with you guys. I don't want to be in business with anybody else, and that was something that was brought to my attention, like I said, by my brother-in-law bringing that up over the weekend, so she was still fresh in her mind.
Who is the company?
The Sterile Medical Center.
That's the company that she didn't want to be in business with?
Well, it's not wanting to be in business with. It's just that Sterile Medical Center has all the individual doctors, and everyone can do what they want. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They can bring other doctors in that are competing with you. She doesn't know the people. It wasn't anything personal.
It's trust.
She's like, I don't know you, but we're in business together for 10 years.
Right.
8 years.
Make sense.
But we did that because we came into this project on the ground floor. Mm-hmm. So we have a percentage ownership of the whole thing, which up until now hasn't really been a whole lot. It's been more of a hassle. It means increased rent.
Right.
Because nothing sold. And then this whole deal fell through. And I honestly don't think it's significant. But at the same time, I have to look at it and say, you know what? I may not know what's significant.
Sure.
I think I'm clear-minded some of the time, but at the same time, I don't have your mind. I don't have your perspective on it.
All right, well, I'll make a note about it, and when things calm down a little bit more, I can always get names of people and we can follow up and talk to them. Yeah. What about your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors? Do you know the people you live with in your neighborhood?
The ones on my immediate left are Torres, Kimberly, and I can't think of the husband's name. Nice guy, super nice guy. Kimberly's mom. We actually had that house. They bought it a few years back, 6 years ago.
They bought from you guys?
Yeah. We had a short sale on the house. Kimberly, Torres. We had an issue around Christmas time. Not with them. I would light fireworks off. Okay?
Sure.
I have two little girls. They like fireworks. I light them off from time to time. And one day, my neighbor from across the street, Rob, up until him, nice guy. Known him for 7 years.
So if I'm standing in your driveway across?
Straight across.
Gotcha.
And nice guy. We'd say, hey, how are you? Rob and Sandy. Murphy would get out last year or so. We watched him. They'd bring him back. My dogs would get out occasionally. They'd call me. We got your doggy. He comes over to my house one time, knocks on the door. I'm in my underwear. I come out, and he starts yelling and screaming at me. I'm like, Rob, what's wrong? You're trying to burn down your house. I haven't spoken to him since.
Sure.
Because he needs to apologize to my wife and kids.
Relax. Just do the breathing again. In through the nose. Slow it down. Yep. Breathe out. You're doing good. All right,
he was yelling
crazy
and screaming that they were trying to burn his house down. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
He's like, because you're lighting fireworks off all effing day, all night, all hours, Right. And it's like, we've been doing this for 10 years. It's like, I've lived here for 8. I've been doing fireworks for 2. I understand you're mad. What's the problem? I have to climb on my roof every time and get out of the shit. Would you like me to do that for you? I'm surprised you're addressing me like this. We were friendly. If you would have said, hey, Mark, don't do this. Do it down the street. Or this is what's happening as a result of your actions. Whatever. It's against the law. Yeah, I know. I mean, tell me what you want.
Right.
Talk to me.
Right.
You're coming at me with your fist and all man. I feel like hitting you. It's like, if you feel like hitting me, go ahead. It'll make you feel better. He's old man. He's 50. I mean, I shouldn't say old man. I guess I'm almost 50.
I know what you mean.
It's like, if it's going to make him feel, it's not going to hurt me. It's going to be one hit. If you feel like hitting me, go ahead. And we can talk this out. And he started yelling about my kids and about my wife. And it's like, girls, get in the house. And it's like, I would help you with this. And I go, I won't light any more off. I'm fine with that. It was before New Year's Eve, before Christmas, because I did, or before New Year's Eve, because I won't light them off.
Last
well, what day is it? I mean, what month? It's July.
Today is now July.
Yeah, this end of December. This recently happened. Okay. And I'm like, I won't light him off then. He goes, yeah, right. He goes, you should have known not to do this. I go, you didn't tell me. I'm not a mind reader. Right. He goes, you should have seen. I go, seen what?
Right. So that's how that ended?
Yeah, so it ended, well, then another neighbor came out immediately to the right of him, and he comes to my driveway. I feel like knocking it. It's like, you feel like doing what? Who the hell are you?
Right.
I've been here for 8 years, and this is the most conversation we've had. Mm-hmm. Step off my property and get the hell away from me. Come running on my property. And it's like, no. And I haven't spoken to either one of them. Mm-hmm. Now, what I did that day, I went up. I guess actually I did that day. I went over to their house afterwards. And I settled down. I was so livid. Like, how dare you do this in front of my family? Yelling at my wife that she has a 3rd child, which is fine. I can take that. I act like a kid sometimes. I get it. Doing fireworks as an adult.
Whatever.
And, I go to his house. I say, hey, Rob, I just wanted to talk to you for a moment. Yeah, he goes inside. And Sandy comes out. She goes, Mark, please, I go, Sandy, I'm not here to offer any trouble. I want to know what I can do to help you guys. You want me to climb on your roof? Want me to get these off? I'll do it. I didn't mean any disrespect to you guys. I'm not trying to burn down your house. I go, I don't know you guys. I thought we were friendly. My daughters made him a birthday card. They would buy bracelets. My daughters have their birthday, buy bracelets. I would say, we had a rapport, I thought.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what set this off. And it's like, she goes, no, just go. And I go, I'm gone. But I have no hard feelings. And I walked across the other driveway. I wouldn't go in his driveway. He was there, and I go, I want to know if there's anything that you can get out of my property. I go, no worries. I just wanted to make my offer to you that if you had anything I need to do because of my fireworks, I wanted to make sure I came clean with you because I didn't realize it was an issue. And I went away and I haven't spoken to either one of them. Now, Rob had occasionally waved. I just wouldn't wave back because I don't think you just blow that out. If you insulted me I can care less. I'll wave, shake your hand, I don't mind. You yelled at my wife and kids. You owe them an apology before we say anything. And they liked them.
Right.
They liked them.
Right, but then that's
never happened.
strange. So
I'm sorry. So I'm going on with tangents.
right. Anything else?
A week or so ago,
Okay.
I need to ask my daughter. I had on my phone to ask her today, and I forgot. We came home, and I can't remember the details. My wife came in the driveway. She must have been coming from work. Must have been on a Tuesday. Must have been at dance class. I'm trying to remember the time frames or what we were doing because it was just me. And I'm like, stay in the garage. So I think the garage door was open or something. The door going into the house was open. I opened the garage door and that door was already there.
Oh, it was already open.
The house,
not unlocked. It was open.
Yeah, it's always unlocked. It's one door I keep unlocked.
The door, once you come in the garage, the door to the house, you always leave unlocked?
When we're coming and going,
yes.
At nighttime, I lock it.
From the inside?
From the inside.
Right, but if you're away...
Right, yeah, when I'm away, it's unlocked because my mom feeds the dogs. Throughout the day, it's unlocked because that's how we come in and out of our house.
Understood. It's not until you're home for the night.
When we're home for the night, I lock it and I set the alarm.
Got it.
Put the wood down on the doors so you can't open it. We have cheap construction-grade sliders. I'm doing good. I'm not crying.
Doing great. Doing a really good job.
Okay.
All right, so recently...
I walked in. I told Jill, wait in the car.
It's a week ago?
Fucking day it is.
It's fine. Approximately a week ago.
A week or 2 weeks. In the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I had my gun with me.
Sure.
So I closed the door behind me. I walked every single room, the cabinets, everything, checked the whole thing out. Nobody was there. Like, good. And then my wife comes in the room, in the kitchen, and she yells, because I guess I didn't tell her. I just went in the house quickly. And not realizing that, or maybe I said something and she didn't hear me, or I thought I said something. And she goes, why can't you get out? When I came back, I said, well, the door's open. And I think what I did was we usually set the alarm when I walk out of the house, set it on away so the dogs, set it on stay so they can run through the motion detector. I obviously didn't set it that time when we left for a few minutes to drop my daughter off, I'm guessing. Came home and the door's open. Now, another cause, not unlikely, is for Nana to jump up with her paw. Hits the lever and goes out.
Okay, so it's
a lever on the inside.
So you can easily, okay.
My front door we changed. It was a lever also. She'd get out the front door if we didn't do the deadbolt.
Wow.
So we changed the locks in the last year. So that's the only thing that I was thinking of. I can't think of anybody.
No one sticks out in your mind in your neighborhood?
I don't really know our neighbors that well.
Okay.
There are stories you hear about some neighbors. I've never had issues with them. So I don't know. You know, we're to ourselves. We don't let the... I'm very protective of my girls. She used to be my wife, too. I couldn't protect her. Okay, stop.
Just focus on the moment. You're breathing.
Okay, we don't let our kids go out in the neighborhood by themselves.
I wouldn't either. I don't.
They don't play with the neighbors across the street.
No.
A couple of years ago, my girls and I were doing their toy factory. And in the driveway, the neighbors on the street come walking up with their dog. Hi, how are you? And they come over, they want to talk, no problem. They come back with their bikes. They come back with their roller skates. We're going for a ride around the block now with our girls on their bikes. And they, can we join you? It's like, well, where's your daddy? Where's your mommy? They're at home. Let's go talk to them. I go over and talk to Brian. Brian. I'm like, I'll let you know that he's working on his boat with his baby, a little boy. Just want to let you know that your girls want to go for a walk around the block with me. And, oh, yeah, that's fine. I go, hey, Brian, can you turn around for a second? My name is Mark. I'm your neighbor. I've been here for 5 years, and this is the biggest conversation we've had. I thought you might like to know who you're giving your 2 daughters to walk around a block. Stupid. That's the mentality.
Sure.
So we deal with that with our mother's home.
Sure.
I will not allow that with my kids.
Right.
You know, so I can't put them in that situation. So we have other friends that have kids that we do our play dates with.
Right.
And I know it's overprotective. Well, it's very protective. I don't know if it's protecting.
Yes.
And that's how I do it with my girls. I don't leave them at places. Lanka and George are one of the few places we can leave them because they've been so tight and they're like sisters and family to us. And it's just, my little one caught me carrying a gun. We were at a restaurant a couple of years ago, and I'm sorry.
Honestly?
We're at a restaurant. My wife, they were sitting not eating. He goes over to me. I'm like, what you need? She goes, do you have a belt on? I don't know. Oh, her eyes lit up. And she sat down, and we had a talk in the car.
Sure.
Daddy sometimes carries a gun.
Sure.
She loves knives, guns, weapons. She's
how old is she?
8. Sexy. Yeah, she's a little. We were talking to her about mommy, and she's the one who told me last night that she knows mommy was murdered. Did I tell you the story?
No.
I'll make it quick. We're driving home, and she goes, "Daddy, you can tell us the rest." What do you mean? She goes, "We know." Well, what do you know? Because they'll trick you. Oh, yeah. You say something. That's not what I was talking about. But she goes, "They want your fingerprints. They want your DNA," which I tell them that they need to. They're searching the house. She goes, "By the way, I hope they find my wallet." She lost. She told me like $50, and I was like, maybe $100 in her wallet. I was like, "What are you doing with that money in your wallet? It's supposed to be in your safe." She goes, "Mommy was young. She was strong. She was really healthy. We know somebody hurt her. Somebody killed her. We know this is true, but don't confirm it." And I'm like, I'm driving. I'm like, "Girls, mommy died, and the police are doing their investigation. That's all I can tell you." How the hell are these kids figuring this stuff out?
I don't know, but they're very smart, especially today. 11, right?
Very spiritual.
She may have heard somebody. That's all.
But the little one was the one who started it. My little one, she's a whippersnapper. A couple months ago.
Mine's the same way. 8-year-old.
We're at a friend's house. She's coming to doctor. Actually, do you know if your chief got called by a chief in Tampa?
I'm not sure.
A very good friend of is Beth Weaver. She's a doctor in Tampa, works at the prison. Her colonel is friends with the police chief there. They had a meeting.
Tampa PD?
I don't know.
Sure.
Somewhere Tampa. And they were having their chief, called the chief down here, saying this is family.
Right.
Beth always talked about her friend and everything, so it's like goosebumps.
Sure.
So I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, you're just bringing up how it's to your family and to everyone else. Yeah, just focus on your breathing.
Okay.
Just to clarify, about 1 week ago, when you opened the garage door, the garage door open, right?
Hanging on my van.
All right. The inner door was slightly open.
It was open. The outside was open.
Okay. Is that the way you guys always enter and exit?
To the garage, yes.
Yes. Okay. So you never walk through the front door?
I shouldn't say never.
Rarely?
Extremely rarely.
Okay.
You know, we have guests, we close the garage and they go to the front. When we come in and out of the house, unless we're doing lawn work or some watering, when we go in and out, it's almost always through the garage
door. To leave and come.
Yeah, because that's where the cars. So we keep them in the garage and keep the garage door closed.
Right.
Every now and then we come home, like, I could have sworn I closed the garage door when I left. And every now and then the garage door's open when you come home, but then the inside door's closed. The motorcycle's there. I have a key on my bike, so if someone's going to take the bike and go, and they didn't,
When's the last time you had anybody stay with you guys? Like, sleep over?
I don't know. My mother-in-law? Yeah, a couple months ago.
Does she have problems with anyone?
No.
There's no reason to think that somebody thought maybe would be there?
No, she lives in Connecticut. She just she came in town. Yeah, we don't have nobody consistently in our house.
Okay.
I even asked about a service. Then we had home tech come out a few times because the AC we just got with them isn't working right, and adjusting things and whatever. Okay. They had a code because I wasn't home. It's like, I need you. Can you guys? I was actually flying out of town. It's like, can you guys fix this? Here's a garage code, so you can get into the garage, get into the house, so you can work on a thermostat. Because I'm out of town and I got to make this. I got to make sure my family has air conditioning for the weekend. And they did it. They did a great job.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I want to ask you some questions that may be upsetting, but I don't want to upset you. So if I upset you, you can pause me and say what you think and feel, but I don't want you to get upset, okay? Because this is all part of me trying to do an investigation. Do you have any reason to believe that I was engaged in a relationship with anyone else?
No.
Do you have any reason to believe that I was engaging in any kind of sexual activity with anyone else?
No.
Were there any calls at odd hours of the night, any kind of phone calls and hang-ups, any kind of weird text messages in the middle of the night, or any hours that wouldn't normally be receiving calls? Because I know some people are religious about dinner time, no one calls them.
No, because she's a doctor. She get calls all the time.
All the time.
It could be the ER. Usually they call me. But they can call her. We both get crazy text messages or voice messages from telemarketers calling our cell phones.
Sure.
She's never left the room to make a call, never took a call in another room. I mean, if it was because we're too noisy,
Okay.
We're open.
Have you ever had an issue in the past with any infidelity in your marriage that you're aware of?
No.
Have you ever cheated on your wife?
I've never cheated on her, and she's never cheated on me.
Have you ever had anyone have an unhealthy obsession with either you or your wife or your kids or anything?
I absolutely can't think of anybody that would have been fit a bill with that at all. No one. She's never been stalked. No. I wish this person would stop calling me. None of these things. The worst thing that has happened would be she discharges the patient. You know,
sure.
Patients are, you're not listening to me, you don't care to listen to me, go to another doctor. Right. You're paying cash for me, go use your insurance, go elsewhere. You know, you're not, this isn't working, you know.
Right.
Never had any, you know, there's no, she would have told me.
Right.
There was only, there was one time, and it wasn't an issue. Okay. She was flying, and she was at the bar having a glass of wine, and a guy, she talks like I talk to everybody.
Sure.
On the plane, and the guy sent her a text from the plane. I think he was for her to text him if the plane was leaving or something like that. It was a couple of years ago. He sent her a text and on the plane, and she said, she goes, I ignored it, but he never said anything. He sent a text like, I love you. And it was one text, and she goes, maybe he meant to say I like you. And I go, did he follow you? Did you have your mace on your hand? She goes, he got off the plane before I did. I never saw him, and there was no issue, and didn't even sit together at the bar. She goes, it was, I think she may have had a dinner and a glass of wine or something. She goes, there was never anything that came out of that.
She his name?
Didn't even know his name.
Okay.
And she told me about it. So I always ask, how was your flight? You know,
how often would she travel?
Maybe 3 years ago. Not often lately, but prior to now, she traveled every, 4, 5, 6 months. She'd go out of town for a weekend. She's always doing her seminars, her lectures. She'd flow to Texas in April. She filmed her TV show. 2 episodes already filmed and completed. I just spoke to the company the other day. They were going to start airing it. She was really going to change medicine.
What was her show called? Pathways
to Healing, number 2. And I spoke to Doug Kaufman, and he said they are going to. She will see it. It will air. It won't be the continuation that we wanted, but her message will initially get out there, and Lenka and her were going to just change how people look at medicine and healthcare.
And Lenka's the one that she worked most closely with?
Yes, Lenka Spiska, Spiska. They spoke to her and George, her husband. They got their names and stuff at the house. They were the ones we had come to my mom's house when we came in town to tell my daughters. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you think, put yourself in my shoes. I'm trying to think of all of the types of risky behaviors or things that cause people to make permanent choices to temporary situations that could lead up to something like this. I'm trying to look at any behavior caused by you or your spouse, any people around you.
I've been wrapping my brain around this since Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. I figure you think about it all the time.
I can't think of anybody, any situation that would want to hurt, to take her life. It doesn't make sense.
Did you guys...
Or me or my daughter. I can't think of anything.
Did you guys ever provide a home to a girl named Brittany, or foster care to anybody?
Yeah, we did.
Was her name Brittany?
No, Brittany was...
Who's Brittany?
She's a girl from our mother's home. She broke out. She got out of the foster care cycle, and she shouldn't have. She went to live with her mother, who was in bad shape. Her mother claimed to be clean, so Brittany went to move in with her. It was really upsetting to us. She gave a deposition over the phone last week or so.
To who?
Somebody about the case, the courts. Because Brittany... It's a kid.
This is all over phone deposition?
She was 17. She was in our mother's home for 2 or 3 years. They were making huge progress. She had so much freaking potential. She's a kid. She'd been abused. Foster care system now. Instead of letting her stay in foster care for another few months till she ages out at 18, and then she gets some additional money, some funding, some school money, babysitting money, whatever, child care, schooling, education, whatever. Her mom lays a guilt trip on her. I love you. I've changed. Here's a screwed up little girl. She loves her mommy.
Took advantage of the situation.
She goes back to her mom. Right. Her mom gets a bigger apartment as a result of it. Her mom goes back into drugs. Brittany goes into drugs. She loses her son. She's in jail. She gets out on probation. She goes back to jail.
Loses her son?
She has a little boy named Joey.
Brittany does.
Brittany does. And it just screwed everything up, and now they're trying to take permanent custody from her. It's like, you let her mother take Brittany back at such a fragile age, and she was so screwed up, and yet now after 3 months of this, you're going to take Brittany's boy completely and terminate custody over the rights?
How old is Joe?
He's 3.
So she had him when she was like 15, 14?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of these girls are really messed up, and they not on their own. They're innocent. They've been screwed over.
That's one of my concerns, is if any of these girls fixated on loved her life. You know what I mean? I'm thinking of all kinds of avenues. Do you know what I mean?
I never thought of that.
I'm thinking of anything. That's why I'm asking you. Any problems at the house?
We have no.
Any people in the neighborhood? No. Anybody in your life? Any risky life choices or decisions made by you or anyone in your life close to you? Because like you said, you're suggesting, based on the time she got home, and we're talking about the positioning of possibly her belongings, you're saying, wow, it sounds like somebody could have been lying in wait, right? So that means somebody...
Or they were at the house, robbing the house,
right?
And she walked in on it. And that's why I didn't understand why they weren't saying, okay, here's a picture of your...
Right.
Here's a panoramic view, what's missing?
Right.
Because that, to me, would have said that it's more of a robbery scenario versus malicious. Well, and this sounds malicious because those questions haven't been asked yet. Now, I don't know your timeline. Maybe they get down the road, I don't know.
We're going to get there with the pictures. We're going to finish. We're taking our time with your house, because we have one chance to do this right.
Take all the time. I told everyone.
We're going to.
You take a month if you need it. I don't want it, but I mean, if that's going to, if it's not,
we're not rushing.
If it's not macho, keeping it because we can. I know that, but I'm saying if it's investigative, take it as long as you need.
Right.
It's just a house.
Right.
If you can find something in that house, do it. You know.
Sure. So
sorry.
Has there been anyone that you can think of that has had any kind of unhealthy fixation on?
I still can't think of anybody.
Well, let me ask you this. Sometimes she surprises a criminal. Is she the kind of woman who's going to say, oh my goodness, and try and run out? Or is she the kind of woman that's going to curse them out and yell at them and try and get rid of them?
Oh my God. I'd like to think she'd get the hell out of the house.
But you make her, from what you're telling me, she's so
feisty. She might yell, I got a gun, get out, or something like that. Because when we did the simulations...
Because what if she also, let's pretend it was somebody that she recognized or somebody she knew that did it because they paid attention to your life to the point where they were aware, like, who knew you were going out of town? What did you guys tell us? Do you guys have Facebook accounts? Do you post social media?
We do. We post nothing on Facebook about our person, that stuff.
Because you seem very prepped and guarded, so I figured the kind of guy that would say...
We deleted her accounts a year ago.
Okay.
Because it was too much exposure and too much potential risk for her to have an account.
Did something happen that triggered that?
A friend of ours, Bob Forget. He's actually in Paris right now.
What's his name?
Bob
Forget?
Robert Forget, Forget. Super nice guy, wonderful family. He had something happen with his Facebook account.
And he's a doctor?
No, he's a car. He owns car dealerships.
Okay.
And as a result of him telling us some of the basic stuff that he went through, just by having Facebook to help his customers out.
Right.
He said he closes down. He sent a notice out, and I'm like, you know what? That day I was boom, boom. I closed her accounts down.
Well, it just exposes you to so much risk when you have Facebook. I don't agree with it.
I have a Facebook account. I check birthdays from time to time. We do very benign texting.
Or spying and little minimal communicating. You know what I mean? Like checking on your family, spying on a little bit, as opposed to, I'm at Starbucks right now, 5 o'clock. You know?
I'm sorry.
I agree with you. No, you're increasing your risk. So no social media. You guys are on Facebook,
and our cameras are location services off for our pictures.
Right. So that way, if you do a picture,
we take a picture and send it to a family member. No matter who gets that picture, it's not logged. In theory, it's not logged because
no Twitter. No.
She has a LinkedIn account, but she doesn't use it much. It's just professional account. We always get emails. Join me to LinkedIn. She deletes. Join me to LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know. I had the same thing. If I just deleted my LinkedIn, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, so because I'm trying to put out some ideas because, like I said, this is going to be a team effort. No,
I can't think of anything.
You will be on when we leave each other, and we'll still come up with more ideas. And then there's going to be pictures I'm going to show you. I'm going to ask you for details, like does anything look like it's missing? Does this look like it should be where it is? Things like that. And I know Jamie brought up earlier about your garage, and we're talking about tools, and we're talking that you brought up your motorcycle, just different things that belong in your garage. Now, you said to me that, what was it? JB Tourette, he helped you because you're not a handy guy. correct?
I don't do any.
Neither am I. I am not at all.
That's what it is. I mean, I like to think that I am, but I know the reality is. I mean,
Yeah,
I hang a
show
picture.
me.
I hang a picture.
I'll hang a picture. I'll hang a fan beyond certain things.
I did a fan to picture.
Right.
I did the lights in our bedroom. Now they stopped working a year later.
Right.
Probably, they stopped working probably because of me, and I haven't been able to switch the switch out.
It's describing me right now. That's why I'm laughing. The same way. Yeah, we try, but that's not us. If it was, that's probably what we would do for a living. Yeah, I know, but then it gets expensive and time, blah blah. So. Let me ask you about your garage. Do you have a big tool chest? Do you just have a little tool bag?
We have a red toolbox from my grandfather.
Okay.
All kinds of this old stuff.
That's nice.
We have small little plastic ones you buy at Home Depot.
Sure.
Each of my girls have a toolkit.
Nice.
If they look in my, oh my God, they look in my little daughter's room. It's everywhere. She put sheets up all over her room, making a tent inside of her bedroom. Her tools are all over the floor.
That's cool.
So they do that kind of stuff. So they have their little red boxes.
Right.
I have a big red one. It has ratchets in it. I use it when I need to. Like I just fixed her door was squeaking in her car.
Right.
I found the nut was loose. I tightened it. It stopped squeaking. That was simple.
Okay.
That's my handyman skill set.
Part of those tools. Now you said they were grandpa's. So were they older?
Older.
But were they worn or were they? More pristine.
That's just the harder part.
Do they look like something that's been used a lot by someone who works in construction, or do they look like
some tools
bought it at Sears and put it in there?
Some tools would look like they were used, like there was one like a glue gun or something. Mm-hmm. I found in the garage years ago or something, and no one knew who it was.
So it was
in my thing, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Right.
I have a roto rooter thing with no bits on it.
Right.
It looks like it's construction grade, but
right.
I don't know.
Okay.
But most of my tools are going to be. Like the hammers are going to be weathered. You'll see like the Patika, whatever it's called, Patika on the metal. Mm-hmm. The rest of the tools.
Do you remember what they look like?
They showed me pictures. One was red, one was white.
And those are yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, almost identical. Someone looking just like it. I mean,
Sure.
If you found that in my house, I'd say that's mine.
And where those are? You said those are in the chest normally?
Those would have probably been on top of that little chest because my tool chest is small.
So if I'm walking into your garage, we pull in, I see your motorcycle here. I see the door to your house here. So let me help you out. Here's your motorcycle. Here's the door to your house.
Right.
Where's your tool chest? God bless you.
Thank you. To the side.
To the side.
If you're looking at the car coming in.
Right. Bless you.
The Mercedes pulls in.
Okay. So here's the door to the house right now.
There's the door to the house. The Mercedes is over here.
Okay.
The front left corner. Up is where the tools are going to be.
All right. Now, right next to this door.
There's a freezer. For dog
it's
food.
A deep freezer?
For dog food only.
Okay, for dog food only. Do you normally keep anything on top? Because you're going in and out for the dog freezer, right?
Yeah.
You go in there a lot.
What I do is I take the food and I put like a day's worth in the fridge.
Okay.
It's like over the weekend I did 3 days worth, so we had enough through Monday.
Okay.
And when we left out of town, I may have put stuff on top. I don't remember.
Okay.
Because I took all kinds of stuff out of my car. I took my box out of the car. I took my lawn chairs out, the umbrella for the beach.
Right.
I always keep that in my car.
Right.
I have 2 little girls. We homeschool.
Oh, sure.
1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to the beach. We go to the beach.
Right. Get it done.
Just have fun.
Oh, sure.
So I don't. If there was anything on top, what I wouldn't imagine be heavy.
Like something easily put there and removed.
Or like what I've done, like I've had toilet paper that I have to lift up. And every now, like the big thing of toilet paper, I raise the lid and it shuts my light off. I'm like, okay, well I got to move it out of the way. So it's simple stuff that I would have put on top.
What do you keep in your van? Like, I know some people, they'll have a flashlight and they'll have jumper cables. Do you keep anything additional?
That stuff would have been in the box. I probably have a flare set in the box.
Okay, and that's what's normally in the van?
Normally in the van. And I also always have the little pry bar.
Okay.
Which, I don't know if it's called a pry bar or a carpet puller.
Sure.
But I always keep that in the van, past the driver's side.
For defense?
If I'm stopped, it's because I might be doing nail work somewhere. I'm not a hand. I do it for defense, honestly.
Sure, I got you.
I have one. I should have one in my wife's Mercedes.
Sure.
I have one on the side of my motorcycle.
Okay.
I don't want to paint this horrible picture of myself, but I'm being honest with you that
you're someone that's prepared.
I try to be, and that's why this is so
frustrating.
I couldn't be prepared for this. And I don't understand.
No, we don't right now, and we may not, but we're going to work through this. Like I said, we're going to team approach this. We're going to put our heads together, and we're going to try to find a resolution for this. That's exactly what Captain Murphy was trying to tell you, along with Detective Nolan.
Yes.
we're not giving up on this. This is something we're going to work on until we find answers. Okay? So just know that. We're going to be in touch a long time. Maybe the rest of our lives for one reason or the other.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'd rather it be sooner than we find out who did this and it's over, but as long as we don't give up.
Oh, we're not going to. All right, so maybe some things on top of the freezer, so be it. Now, the cars, where they're pulled in, and here's your motorcycle, and this is the side door out to the house.
Motorcycle's between the two cars,
Okay.
closer to the double door side, because that's my side.
Okay, and there's a door over here that leads
That's
outside?
to the right side of the Mercedes front.
Okay. Now, how often did you use that door?
That's hard. It didn't get used often, but we did use it recently because we just laid that fence. And the fence comes right through that wire. You'll see a wire on the bottom of that door coming underneath, and then it goes into our electric fence. So it was used when we were testing the wire. We just got the kit came in because we couldn't find the transmitter was broken, so we ordered the kit. The transmitter. We put it in, hooked it up. I don't even know if I set on the wall or if I set on top of the water heater.
Okay.
I don't even know if that electric fence is mounted or if it's sitting on top, but it was right there with the wire.
Are there any other doors in the house that you use frequently? Like, I know some people have a pool off, a bathroom near their pool. That's the bathroom door we use all the time, stuff like that.
We use we try to teach the girls. You go out to the pool, grab your towels, go out the pool bath door so you can come in that way. So you're not dragging water to the house.
Smart.
They don't always do it, but we tried it. And then when they're done,
that's a good habit.
I lock the doors. I tell them to lock the doors, but I always come back and lock them.
You're vigilant about your locks.
Once or twice, maybe I've left something unlocked by, late or something, or I fell asleep. I didn't think I was going to. Usually I'm a late person. Usually I'm up till 2 in the morning or so. And I do my lock checks before. If I go to the gym and work out, I come back after half hour. Not a very long workout for me. I go in the house. If I set the alarm when I leave, when I come back, I go in my girls' room, make sure they're safe, make sure their windows are still locked. It's what I do.
Same way. How about windows?
Yeah, I check their windows. I check their windows.
Okay, so you're all over that.
And we only have one window in the entire house, 2 windows in the entire house that are not armed, in the bathrooms, and they're very small.
Okay, they're the tiny ones.
The one in my bathroom is real tiny. The one in my girls' bathroom, I think, does have an alarm on it. I think it's one window that's not armed. Okay. And that's in my bathroom. It's very small. It has a little, I don't know what it is. I think a little slide up and down, 6-inch window or something.
Just based on all the things we're talking about, because we're going all over the map, and we're going to continue to go over the details and things time and time again. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to say, or any ideas you have about anything?
Ideas?
Any concerns? Any ideas other than the obvious?
Yeah, I can't help. I'm an absolute wreck inside. I'm thinking my girls are safe right now, but at the same time, if this was intentional, okay.
You can talk. You're not going to sound crazy. Take your time. Breathe.
If she walked in on somebody robbing the house, I feel secure for my daughters.
Sure.
If somebody followed her home, if somebody was waiting for her,
right.
My daughters are in jeopardy.
Why do you think that?
Why would they want to hurt her? I don't know why they'd hurt her. Maybe for whatever reason they'd hurt her. Maybe they'd hurt my daughters. Well, I don't know. She deals with human trafficking, with fighting human trafficking. She wasn't taken. So I don't know. These are thoughts. That is like,
sure.
I want to carry my gun again. I can't today. Not just because it's in the house, but because I need to be able to be in a clearer state.
Oh, yes. You shouldn't be carrying a clear mind.
I think there are moments I'm in a clear mind, but moments don't count.
No.
I feel helpless because I couldn't stop what happened. Right. I gotta make sure my babies are safe, and I do what I can. But some things I can't do, and I don't like that. This is an example, and I don't know what I can do differently. And until someone says this is why your wife was murdered,
exactly.
I can't say that my girls are safe. I can't say, well, this is random. If it's proven, hey, it was random. They did a home invasion. They had a house 3 doors down. They got the same house. Then okay, then it wasn't intentional.
Right.
And it's like she surprised somebody instead of them running. She was that close to the door. We have a drawer full of knives. She's usually very cool and calm, but if she's surprised somebody, would she have grabbed a knife?
Right. These are things we wonder. Let me go check in with my guys. Let me check on your phone.
How long?
Do you need the bathroom? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Do you know what time it is now?
Right now it is 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
2:10. Excuse me, 2:10. All right, I'll be right with you. Okay.
How is my family doing out there?
They're doing well. Right before I came in, I have another detective that was interviewing different people, so everyone's being checked in with, and there's water in the bathroom and all of that. All right, I'll be right with you. Thank you for your patience. You did a great job.
I noticed you don't have a gun on you, but the other officer did.
Oh, okay. Well, I try not to have my gun on me, and I'll be right with you. Thanks.
Help us find this. Help us solve this. Keep my baby safe.
I apologize for the delay. Computer issues.
That's the hardest part, just waiting, my mind racing.
I know. All right. We'll show you some pictures and then a couple more questions, and that might do it for today.
Did you check my phone to see if my daughter's called?
No. No, it's they have to put in airplane mode.
Oh,
so it
I
blocks all
got it.
calls.
I remember now. Dr. Jamie did that when he got the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw the wire just now.
Yes. We'll start with that then. You're going to see all of them. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What is that? Is that the fence?
Yes.
What? What?
Oh, thank God. I forgot about this.
What is that?
It's not from our fence. My daughter, we had art class that week.
What did you make? Is that a musical note?
My older would make a musical note. My little one made a gun. So,
okay. So this is
would have been
art.
That's fine. Yeah.
Farmer's art.
It was somewhere on the counter. It shouldn't have been there. It should have been put away. But at the same time,
oh, that's cute. How do you... Is that?
I had so many thoughts about wire from the fence and choking and tying her up, and this is so good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, don't jump to any conclusions. Let's do it.
How can you not?
I know, right?
This is awesome.
I know. All right, here we go. Project. All right.
There's a second one too somewhere with art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The outside door. Okay. Come facing your garage. The outside door we're just talking about that you started using a little bit more? Right, okay.
And I only use it just because you did a fence.
Was there any problems with that door before?
No.
Okay.
Not even the molding? No, my garage doors themselves have molding issues. The molding, the cushion. Okay. This door was fine.
Okay, so...
Oh, holy shit.
Seeing this shouldn't look like that?
No, this does not.
Should not look like that?
No.
Okay. Do you see these items right here? It looks like a little black lockbox and like a blue bag. I'm going to get you a better picture.
I know the box is fine.
That's normally there?
That's normally there. I forgot it.
It's okay. Yeah, and a blue bag?
I don't know if I need a better picture. It might be.
I'll get you a better picture.
It might be our stuff. I don't really need a better picture. So it's probably our stuff from our pool.
This door, you never broke into the store ever?
Never. And you can see hammer marks.
Yes.
But why would this be here? You pry a door open, why would you be hitting the door?
That, to me, looks like the edge of...
something prying?
Yeah, like where it skipped off here. Side by side. And that's my next question, okay?
Yeah.
This hammer, does that look like your hammer? It could be. I'm not sure.
It really could be. I mean,
I'm not sure.
There's a hammer that's red. There's a hammer that's white. It just...
You only have 2 hammers?
I probably have 8 hammers.
Okay.
It could be because we have a fiberglass. I mean, my daughters, I will not let them see that, but they would know. because they use them more than I do.
Okay.
Now, I don't see any blood here.
Before the trip, the door did not look
There's
like
no
this.
blood on this, so this wasn't used.
No, I'm asking you about. I'm asking you because here's
Again,
why.
my mind.
I'm just looking at it and I'm trying to see if this looks like yours.
Yeah, it looks similar to the ones in the picture I saw. He showed me a picture on his cell phone, 2 hammers side by side. And this is, you can't see it, on the other side of this bag, actually.
Is what?
Well, maybe on the other side of that box is where you're going to see the toolbox, my red box.
I'll get
This
you,
is our
I'll get you
hanging
a picture.
cleaner that we use for the pool.
Okay,
And
I'll get you a
wet
better picture. Okay.
Well, I don't want you to be gone for 15 minutes for a better picture.
I won't.
So this could be our hammer. I mean, it looks like it. Now, if I can see, I guess we'll see in a moment.
Okay. It's the door leading to your house. Here's the freezer where the dog food is. Do any of these items look familiar? What's up?
Her makeup bag.
Okay.
This is my fanny pack that I thought about bringing, but I couldn't find my straps, so I didn't bring it.
Okay.
This may just be something we left behind by mistake. These, because we always bring our shakes, our powders.
Right.
But these would not be things that she would have taken out of her purse when she got home to set on the counter.
All right, so that's something that could have been left there before you left.
It could have been left for Friday morning as we left.
Right. You told me like we're doing
Right,
move
because
things.
I had the car backed in, so she took care of the door. I had the car turned on, pulled out of the driveway. She got it, and we left.
What about this? These two things.
I'm trying to see that. That looks like. I don't know what it looks like. I'm only going by wet wipes because that's what.
That's what it looks like to me as a package.
gentleman
What,
said.
do you guys normally keep stuff like that?
I don't know. I don't know what she keeps in her purse. But this isn't a purse. What's this black thing?
That's what I'm not sure
Is that
about.
part of a bag? This almost looks like a toiletry bag that she uses.
It does.
Which would be suggestive of her from our trip.
Thank you. All right. So you're not sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make some notes on that. So
This definitely.
these are her.
These
this
are her,
is you.
Well, this is hers too. But
This
it's kind
is
of
her.
yeah.
Okay.
This is I don't pack her stuff, but she takes care of all the packaging and all the arrangements. They were looking for a brush, but I don't know if
Yeah.
She actually lost 2 brushes. Lost 2 brushes. And this does look like bar soap, moist towelette. It looks like a fold here. I can't tell if that's like an end of a wrapper on something, or
Right.
if it's just. Thinking, did she have that pink bag with her? She wouldn't have left without her makeup bag. She left it by mistake, but then she would have noticed it while we were gone.
And then these two things are unknown right now.
Can I look at it again?
Take your time.
This is obviously good. What's the writing on here? Brass.
Not sure.
Brass. This might be something my daughter made.
Cool.
She goes by Brass.
What's her
Her name
nickname?
is.
She goes by Brass, though.
You say why? She goes Brass Knuckles. Does it look like
brass.
it says Brass?
It says Brass. Yeah, it looks like Brass.
So maybe that's something that
I don't know, it's like an at symbol. And a 1
Yeah, it looked like a time. And I'm thinking like she was in class. I see a 2-5-2. 1-5 at 2. I don't know. She had art class was Monday through Friday, which I canceled Friday because we were out of town. Sure. We only booked it for Monday through Thursday, and it was 9 to 3. So I'm not sure what that would be on it.
I'm not sure what this is.
And it may not be hers, but it's suggestive because she goes by Brass. Little tough cookie.
Okay. This was the door, the other part of the door from the outside. When we're looking at it. Following?
Yeah, I see exactly what I see it.
Okay.
It
So
almost looks to me that the deadbolt wasn't locked.
Did that ever look like that before?
No.
Okay.
There's no tampering.
All right.
This is.
Okay. Well, I just know sometimes people have been locked out before, so they've had to break into their house once.
When it happens to us, which has happened maybe one time, my daughter,
What?
she goes through our doggy door. But, I mean, we
Wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be prying a door.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing that. So,
Hell no. No.
because our doggy door, obviously, we leave it open. Our dogs go in and out.
All right, so that's the hammer I showed you, right? Follow me?
Yeah.
Now you got a point of reference.
That would be our hammer.
You said this is whose?
My daughter's.
And what about this? All this stuff belong there?
Yeah, all this stuff is just junk.
So it doesn't look like anybody put that there.
No, that's just my crap not having an action.
All right.
Yeah. And that's something that's been an issue. I actually cleaned it. Believe it or not, you didn't see my garage. That's actually clean for me.
Okay.
Oh, that was one of. You call that clean? It's like I'm working on it.
And now the hammer. That should not be there.
That looks like it would be our hammer because.
But it should. But is it normally kept there?
Oh no.
Right. So the girls may have tinkered, or do they always put stuff back?
Yeah, they don't put stuff back.
Okay.
But it should have been. You might see the red box from here.
Okay.
It should be over there.
All right.
Now, she wasn't using her car, but at the same time, the hammer shouldn't be on the floor. But
okay. Now, in front of. There's this picture of this bag.
Bingo. That's her book. She has
her book. Is that her bag?
So is that her dress?
No. Doesn't look like a dress.
Oh, I just saw like black with white stripes. What is this? I think that's her book. She have her supplements probably in there. Meds. You got the wrong meds.
That be right in front of the car though, in the garage on the floor like that?
Is that where this is?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is. She traveled with this.
This is something
what she had
with
with
her.
her
Bag?
I can't see the bag. I can't see what that is, but she had this stuff, the book she had with her.
What's with you guys on the trip?
Yeah, because in this other book. Oh, this is her jacket. That's what that is. See, I can't see that. I see her jacket that she had on the airport when she was saying goodbye to us. She had her jacket in her.
Okay.
So that's her jacket. I can't see the bag because.
Right.
Oh, wait a second. There's a zipper. Is that the zipper? Is this her black work bag? This is the black bag. Yeah, this is. I see the orange inside. This is her work bag that she would have put her purse and all. She had a carry-on.
So this is her carry-on.
That's her stuff. That's what she would have used as her personal carry-on. They have the bag you do on your overhead, then your personal carry-on. But where was that found?
In the garage.
She would never have set it on the ground. She wouldn't have done that. She has this thing about setting her purse down in our closet. She has a stool. She sets her purse on a stool. It's bad energy to set it on the ground. By her computer desk, she sets it on the ottoman or on the chair. She hangs it on a door. She never sets her purse on the ground. Not for a moment. I mean, I did. What are you going to say? You're right. Sorry, I got it. You know? So this happened coming into the house. So it had to be an earlier timeline, 4 in the morning. Do they have a time of death? That they're going to release with me.
What happens, a lot of times people see movies and TV shows and they talk about time of death, this.
Well, they stick a probe or something to say time of death is 12 hours ago or something. That doesn't work. It really doesn't work like that?
No. So what we do
I really
is
thought you were holding on to it. I thought you had the whole time you guys were waiting.
No, what happens is that we determine your timeline of when you were last seen, and then we determine the timeline of when you were found, and then we take that in comparison with how you appear. And then we make an estimation, and that
really has nothing to do with liver temperature and stuff like that. We
don't know. That's old science. That's not, because then you have to worry about the temperature of the body, temperature of the
environment, and everything
else. And then the other factors that will mess that up. Just for example, were you
hydrated or not?
That's just two. What were you physically doing at the moment or leading up to the moment? Let's say, example, I go for a 5-mile run right before I have a heart attack. My body will change differently as opposed to someone who didn't
woke up
and then heart attack. Yes,
I got you. Okay,
yep,
so that's just a myth.
That's why
I really thought that was the NCIS. That was
really bad television.
I thought they could tell you in a few minutes. Okay, well, she died at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock.
That's why the writers still use that stuff for TV. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
all right. Let me confirm there's no other pictures, and we'll call it for today. And I'm going to get the ETA on your phone. Yep.
And where is?
You want some more water?
I just crushed it.
That's fine. I'll get you another cup.
I'll get it when I leave.
All right.
I'll get it when I leave.
All right. Right back.
Can I walk around? Is that okay with you, or do I need to stay in the room?
I want you to stay in here. You can walk around in here. No problem.
Okay. She got hit right in the house. Oh my God. You didn't feel anything. How could you have been hit? Did you surprise somebody coming in the house? I love you. 64 years to go, baby. 64 years ago. Oh, my angel.
I got my partner calling down at Digital Forensics right now to get a timeline. I said a couple more topics I wanted to go over with you. Okay.
I'm trying to compose myself.
You're doing fine. You're doing better than fine. Listen, you're going through a lot. Of course you do. But they're going to be there. They're going to be right there waiting for you. You're doing great. And what you're doing is you're helping your family right now.
I know.
You're doing
I got here
great.
as soon as I could today.
I know, and you're doing a good job. Slow your breathing down.
Made angel wings. I was waiting.
Okay. Life insurance. Do you have life insurance on yourself or the kids, or do you have life insurance?
We have no life insurance on the children.
Okay.
We talked about it for years, haven't done it.
Yeah.
I have life insurance on myself. They asked me about that at the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about life insurance.
How much do you have on you?
2.5
million?
Yes.
And how much do you have?
I have to look. I have to call about. I actually spoke to Frank this morning, like her surrogate dad. He has all the records. I think it's going to be.
Excuse me. Say that again. And what relation to you guys?
He's like a surrogate father. He is amazing man. He has a wealth finance company.
He's insurance? Okay.
No, he's wealth. I mean, they talked, lectured together. He's like her daughter. She's like his daughter. Father's Day cards, that kind of thing, and go swimming together. And so her dad died a few years ago, and
so he's definitely.
They have such a loving environment.
Right.
They adopted our daughters. You know, their surrogate granddaughters.
Sure.
And he would have all that information.
He has all that. Does he also? Do you guys have a personal accountant? Or someone you said, or is he the one that helps you with like your taxes?
He helped us with that. He helped us get an accountant. We have to. And I this morning, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he goes, "Well, you got to do the life insurance." I go, I don't. You have that stuff, you know. So he's going to go through that stuff and do what has to be done.
What about your finances, your normal checking, savings, all of that?
What about it?
How are you guys doing? Are you guys okay?
We're okay. We're not rich. We have a business, and we run whatever we can through our business. And at the end of the year, it comes out as personal income, but it's not something we can keep track of what we spend that way.
Right.
Like the necklace I bought her. So when she went away for a TV show in April, I used my business card for that. At the end of the year, it gets classified as, what do they call it, some allocation, and it comes off our personal, but it's something that we can run through all the stuff to the business for easier trackability of what we're spending and what we're doing. So we have credit card debt for the business, and then I have money in the bank account to pay the credit card debt and keep it going back and forth.
So you're constantly in the cycle of that. Okay. But all right.
So
do you live month to month? Or are you guys good for 6 months if she was unemployed? Or are you good for a year?
Oh my gosh.
How stable are you?
I understand that now. One of the safes has cash in it.
Okay. How much?
About 40,000.
Okay. And
that's like our nest egg.
Okay.
We have some money in the bank. I think we are basically month by month that we basically live.
Okay.
We have that 40 grand. We put it there. We just don't touch it.
Right.
You know.
It's just like a what if situation.
So what if?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to upset you by saying what if.
You're not. I mean, it's my wife. Fine.
You're doing a good job. You're going to be able to tell us how much life
He'll be able to tell us everything.
Right,
He has
so-
all the policies.
Okay.
He'll have our...
What's the last time you guys got life insurance? What's the last time you initiated a policy? How recent?
Years ago.
All right, so it's been years.
I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't even know how long ago.
Okay. Who did buy marijuana from?
Okay. She hasn't bought marijuana in a long, long time.
How long?
A couple of years, I'm guessing.
A couple years. Does anybody give it to her?
There was a person in Tampa. Tampa, Orlando.
You guys lived in St. Petersburg, Florida?
We lived in St. Pete.
So she would go to Tampa to get her marijuana?
It was so seldom. She didn't smoke on a regular basis.
Sure.
So she would get... I would actually get the marijuana.
Sure.
And
When's the last time you bought marijuana?
2 years plus.
Okay, and that was in what city?
I can't even think if it was Tampa or Orlando.
Okay, so you guys don't buy marijuana here?
No.
Do you buy any illicit drugs here?
That's the only thing she did was marijuana. That was so infrequent.
Is there any other drugs she's done that you're aware of?
No, I mean, she had Ambien when she had her baby. She had to sleep.
Right.
She had a bottle from 3 years prior. And my little girl took some pills. That was when she was 2. So I mean, that was like 6 years ago, and she had almost a whole bottle left over. She doesn't do the drug scene.
Okay.
She did a little bit of marijuana, just occasionally.
So 2 years ago in Tampa or Orlando?
Yes. And I will think how I could trace down how I know where it was if I can.
My concern is anybody that she's buying from now.
She hasn't.
Have you?
No.
Has anybody tried to sell it to you guys?
No.
Okay.
She'll tell me that her patient smoke.
Sure.
And she'll say, she won't tell me the name. She'll, can you believe this? He's 80 years old and he tells you, yeah, he smokes a joint a day and helps him feel good. And she goes, where do you get that from? Well, I overheard my maid talking. It's like this. But she never divulges that. She doesn't do anything like that.
Right.
And I told Jamie about the marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be upfront.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to keep my wife's image because she was so much more than an occasional joint. And I know what that being the media splash.
That's not.
I know it's not your intent. People say, "Oops, we're sorry, the week got it" or something. I just want to make sure that doesn't hurt it.
So there's no other types of drugs that you buy from anybody, or are there?
I'm trying to think.
Do you buy drugs from anyone?
No, I mean, you get a prescription, you go to Walmart.
Okay, that's the only drugs.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
I gotta ask all this.
No, I understand.
That's what you
That's the
understand.
thing.
I'm talking about
There's no inhalants.
cocaine,
There's no
heroin,
crack. There's
marijuana,
none of that
crack,
stuff.
anything.
Nothing.
Okay.
We never have, never will.
Do you?
And just so you know, she never smoked when she was by herself with the kids. Never.
Okay.
It was purely when I was home with the kids and she wanted to smoke a joint or a clove cigarette or something like that.
When's the last time you remember her smoking?
God, it was over a year ago.
Okay. And what was this scenario? Did you guys have it?
Oh yeah. I bought it and I kept it.
The same.
And I would roll it for her when she wanted it.
Right.
Actually, I take that back. I would roll like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in her baggie and put them in her safe, so that she would have what she wanted when she wanted it. I just realized how that wasn't how it works. So that she had it when she wanted it, and that was it.
Okay.
And when she stopped, I said, it's time to clean your safe out. Throw all this shit out. And she's like, I'm not smoking, but I can't throw it out. It was like, then you call me a pack rat. She goes, look at your office versus my safe. So it was like
fair is fair. All right.
That one little box versus my entire office. My daughter said to me this morning, not only does she help you find her wallet, she goes, Daddy, maybe they'll clean your office too. That was 8-year-old want me to find her wallet.
They're both trips, man. I love that. They're witty.
That's what I was telling you. My 8-year-old, we were in Tampa talking about Beth and married to the sheriff and the police captain. Beth's daughter was having a communion of some religious. I don't know what that is. We're at their house. My little one didn't feel good. This is in May. She was not feeling good at all. The end of April, and she was sitting on a chair by herself. Well, Dave, doctor and friend, relative, he's messing with her. He won't leave. She goes, stop. She goes, I don't feel good. He won't leave her alone. And finally, she looks at him. She goes, you have a face only a mother could love.
Wow.
It was so, I mean, it was.
My daughter's the same way.
So,
And then they give you the look.
Yeah. Did you hear me?
I just said it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, she was 4. We went to Moe's. She ordered a bean burrito with black beans and sour cream. And they said, do you want some chicken or beef? She goes, I said, black beans and sour cream only, please. Do you need a new set of ears? I had tears. She's 4. My older one was 7. She goes, that's okay, Daddy. They're just trying to sell you more things so they can make more money for their business.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Business concept already.
I'm going on. Let's get to your question so we can get out of here and see that dog. He's eating my babies.
Just to iron out what I was talking to you about before, what you said, there's been no extramarital affairs on your part, and you told me that you're not.
You say extramarital affairs. I will split lines. I'm not an attorney, but I always focus on details, what you're actually saying. I have never cheated on her, and she has never cheated on me. Does that constitute extramarital affair?
I guess, yes. That's one way. Okay. It's another way to put it. Do you guys swing with anyone?
Okay. That's not an Is that considered an extramarital affair?
No.
Okay, then there's been no extramarital affair.
Okay, do you guys do you guys swing occasionally?
Very occasional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only one direction. I don't want to say this.
Well, I'm trying to help think of anybody.
I don't want this getting out because it's so far removed. They're still friends. There's no issue. No one else.
I'm trying to figure out motives and issues and things that happen though. So you may think it's nothing, but it may be something.
She liked to have another woman with us.
Right.
She liked to watch me with another woman.
Mm-hmm.
She even liked to hear about me with another woman.
When she wasn't present?
Even when she wasn't present. And that was so seldom.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay. We talked probably 2 or 3 years because it was a fantasy.
Sure.
And I'm
building
like,
up to that.
I was fine with fantasy. Fantasies are fantasies.
Sure.
It makes you, whatever it does for you, that's great. And strictly fantasy. And it's like, she wants you normally, let's do this. And it's like, I really don't feel comfortable. I mean, it's a stupid thing for a guy to say, but at the same time, like, I love my wife. I truly am good with one person for her forever. Right. And it's like, I don't want her. My thought was like Psych 101. Are you saying it's okay because you're afraid to hold on to me? You're afraid I'm going to leave you. Right. You don't feel you're good enough. Right. You had your tummy tuck. You asked about a boob job. I said, no. She wanted to get her boobs done. I go, why? Don't you like big boobs? I go, no, I love you the way you are. Right. And that really was not an issue, but it was a point we talked about for a long time when she had her tummy tuck, because she was going to tummy tuck and a boob at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's like, you are perfect the way you are, and I truly mean it. It's like, so no. And it's like, she wanted to know about bringing somebody in. It's like, I love the fantasy. That's great. You want to actually do it? Well, it took us 2 or 3 years before we got to that step.
Right.
Because I couldn't do that. Sure. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a self-esteem issue on her part.
Right.
We work so hard with our babies to build their self-esteem, do everything we can so they know their core strength is good.
Right.
I can't ignore my wife's.
Oh, I agree with you.
And so ultimately we did. And it happened a couple of different times.
How long ago?
A year and a half or 2.5 years ago was the last time.
And who was it? Is it a close family friend? I imagine it would be.
Not
built up to it, or it's a stranger? You knew him.
I knew her.
Her?
It was me. I mean, and I also told her, we knew going into this, that her fantasy is for her to watch me with somebody. I never had that fantasy to share my wife. So it was strictly her watching me with another woman, or her being involved with another woman and me, or her being with the other woman herself.
Okay.
It was never another man.
But you set it up. She didn't pick out the girl. Or did she?
Actually, she did.
Okay.
She did.
And it's someone you guys still talk to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone who may be coming in here for the funeral, if she can.
I'm sure. She obviously cares about you guys, and you care about her, which is why you included her in that.
We also knew that was a one-time thing.
Okay.
We've stayed friends. It wasn't a weird thing for her. I have a hard time with it. I would think it'd be weird.
Right.
I can't go there. And it sounds silly and corny. It's like, oh, you're the luckiest guy in the world. You got my wife, and yet she wants to open the door. It's like, actually, I didn't feel so lucky that my wife wanted the door open. I would have rather it just been us.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
You love your wife.
This doesn't exclude love, but I mean, it's like, I would have liked it to have been am I enough for this? Why wouldn't this work?
Right.
Why do we need that?
Right.
And then she's like, I don't need it. She goes, I want it. I'm like, okay. It's like, and after a couple, 2-3 years, it's like we did that.
So how many times?
Oh, God, maybe 2 or 3 times.
Does she live here?
I don't even know where one lives. One of them lives in Orlando.
Okay.
I don't know where the other person lives.
So it's 2 different girls a couple different times? Only 2 girls?
I'm trying to think. I think it's just 2.
I know this is uncomfortable, but you can understand here. If any of these girls fixated on your lifestyle and were jealous or things like that, people do silly things. So I'm trying to understand.
I know. I'm just
everything. Mark, come on, you got to remember this stuff. It's not something you're going to forget. Do you have any pre-existing medical conditions? Are you diagnosed with memory issues?
I really do have memory issues.
Okay.
I'm not trying to throw it out. I'm really trying to remember.
No. I'm not being a smart aleck.
No.
I'm trying to understand you.
I go through chelation. I'm needle phobic. I get a needle stuck in my arm. They chelate to help pull heavy metals out of my body to help with my memory. I might have early onset to Alzheimer's or that kind of stuff. Not remembering conversations.
Have heavy metal exposure?
Everybody has heavy metal exposure.
Sure.
And
especially
in
with
the medicine,
deodorant and all that.
And the medicine that she does, it's a common thing that people don't check for.
Right.
My lead's off the roof. My mercury's off the charts. So we're working on getting that out. It's just been hard to get to chelation. So I'm not holding back in that sense. I know it looks like if I was in your shoes, how many people do you have? So you ought to know this, and I understand that.
Typically,
I know, and that's why I'm trying to be I volunteered this. I
know you did.
I opened that avenue for you.
I know you did. You're doing a good job of talking to me and being honest.
Okay.
So approximately 2 different women. One lives in Orlando. One lives where?
I don't know where the other one lives. It could be Naples.
The people you guys talk to on a regular basis?
The third woman.
Okay, third woman?
She's in the Miami area. Plantation, Miami, somewhere wherever that is. Fort Lauderdale, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Well, that happened one time with her. But, we kept in touch. We've been talking for 4 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
3 years? 4 years. We went to a swingers party to see what things were like back in 2011.
Okay.
First time. Met her. I don't think anything happened that night.
Was that local swingers party? Or did you go away for it?
We drove somewhere for it.
In this city, this county?
Oh, no, it's an hour, 2 hours away kind of drive thing. I don't know where it was. Right.
What's the girl's name that lives in Naples? I'm not trying to be difficult, but I'm trying to figure out.
I know the numbers now. I know the names. If I didn't know the name, I wouldn't. If I didn't know the number, I didn't know the name. Now I know the names. Rachel.
Okay. Rachel what? You can understand here.
I know Houck.
Right now I have a...
Houck.
Who?
Houck. Her and Greg Houck. He's a dermatologist in our building. They were married. They were going through a really nasty divorce. And after that, Rachel had one time sent her a couple of times.
But any of that occur when you weren't present?
Oh, could have.
Well, don't point at her to tell. She would tell you about it, right?
Absolutely.
That's part of the fantasy, right?
No. And for her, it would be.
Here's a point I'm trying to make right now. If she's not telling you about these things, and it's acceptable, because
no, she would tell me. There's no.
Okay, so there's no unknown.
Absolutely
There's no chance. This Sunday she came back to me.
0 chance.
Rachel, how?
0 chance.
Okay,
Zero
you
chance.
would know.
It would have been planned out. We would have talked about it.
And the build up to it. And
absolutely, we would talk because I had talked to her a year and a half. I can't remember the timeline. In the last couple of years, that I don't like don't like it. I like that. I'm not comfortable doing this with our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was her fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it getting out of control. I don't want it putting a wedge between us.
Right.
We're very proactive, with the exception of actually indulging in a fantasy. We went to marriage encounters before we got married because we know people get divorced. And we wanted to set the groundwork.
Right.
Communication.
Right.
Honesty, openness, trust.
Infrastructure. Right.
Yeah, thank you. We set that up ahead of time because we know the reality of life. Things happen in life. We don't want them to. Unforeseeable things.
So you bring it down. All right, so what about the girl in Orlando? What's her name?
Margaret.
Margaret what?
You're going to contact her?
If I contact any of these people, it would only be to get a timeline or an alibi. But right now...
Davis. D-A-V-I-S.
Okay. And then the Miami or Plantation girl.
I just know her name is Ra. R-A.
These phone numbers that you would have in your phone or she would have in her phone?
Possibly. In both phones.
Okay.
No, Rachel, no. Rachel was going through a nasty divorce.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband's a dermatologist, makes a lot of money, and yet Rachel was getting shafted. Almost absolutely nothing from the divorce. We were looking to cash out my retirement thing. I mean, like 30 or 40,000. We're going to cash that out to fund an attorney for her because she was going to take the smallest of settlements and move on. It's like, you've been married for 10 years, 9 years, you've been with him for 14, 15 years. He's telling you he only makes X number of dollars. He's saying he makes $600 a year. His practice is probably $1 to $2 million. You need to have an investigative forensic accountant.
Right.
Do something. I mean,
she
ultimately walked with, she left him, she got left the divorce, took what he offered her, and met somebody and got married. She left the marriage with some ridiculous settlement. And it's like, we just wanted what was best for her. And her had been friends for years. I mean, in St. Pete they worked together.
Mm-hmm.
We're very close to Greg and Rachel. I was at their house when their little boy took his first steps.
Oh, wow.
She nursed my daughter at work or something one time. She was around at dinner, and she was watching our little baby. And she was nursing Jacob. They had babies at the same time. And we were really that close. And then Rachel, don't know what happened. She just and said, I'm done, get out. Don't talk to me. You respect my wishes or you don't. And that was the end of that relationship. And it was like, their friendship was so much before that. And that divorce took a lot out of the relationships.
Right.
And we try not to meddle. I mean, hell, we even got Rachel would call me up at 2 in the morning. She saw a car follow her home. I'd call the police. I'd fly down, get down to the road, get down to her house to make sure everything's okay.
So when did all that stop?
That stopped after her divorce.
How long ago was that?
I don't know the timelines. Rachel and Greg Howard. Divorce. Now, the only one who knows about what happened in Rachel and me is going to be Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, there was someone else who knows.
Who's that?
She won't know the name. She'll just know what the scenarios were.
Sister?
No, I don't know if she told her sister. I don't think so.
Who?
Dr. Nancy.
And Dr. Nancy?
JB, and Dr. Nancy, close friends. She's a psychologist.
Are you talking about Tourette?
Yeah, because we talked to Nancy. We want to make sure that this is what you were doing. And just had to feel things out. It's like, I'm concerned, but
she's a psychiatrist or psychologist?
Psychologist. She's a doctor. I don't know if it's psych or psychologist. I don't know what it is. And over 2 years ago, I was in Tampa and Orlando at a conference. She met somebody, a guy. They're having dinner. It was just benign, and she had told me that she had contemplated on being intimate.
Right.
And she didn't, which is good because that would be cheating. And we had a long issue talking, long conversations about that, because we've always said, stop anytime. I'll stop now. I have no problems with that. It's always, I am not comfortable with another guy.
Right.
I won't share I don't want to. I don't want to share myself, but I'm not going to share my wife. You're asking, you want to do it, you got to do what you got to do. We can get divorced. I'm okay. Whatever you want to do, you have to do. It makes you complete and whole. But that's not for me. That's not my fantasy. Mm-hmm. It's not what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We talk. We have open communication.
Right.
She understood. She apologized. She felt so sorry that I felt so hurt that she thought about it, or nothing happened, and that was it. Oh, I spoke to Nancy about it because of my feelings. What I was going through my mind, like, she thought about this. Does this mean we need to get divorced? Do we need counseling? What do we do? I mean, that was all those kind of scenarios. Sure. And it's like, of course, the response is going to be, well, you started on one side, of course, it may lead to the other. And it's like I told her when we started all this, it's like, I want to make sure we're honest with each other.
Right.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, mm-hmm. and I don't want you doing it. You know, and we need to make sure we're good. So it's.
Should keep in touch with that guy?
No.
What was his name?
I don't want to know his name.
Why? You guys still know him?
Well, I've never met him. He's in California. He's a pretty big guy in the kind of medicine she does.
Okay. She thought about engaging in an activity, and it doesn't, it's whatever. Nick what?
Delgado.
Nick Delgado?
Delgado.
And you said he's big time in that world?
Yeah. That's why she was in awe, because she knows how beautiful she is. I tell her all the time, I know it's true. Someone else is paying her attention, which every time she walks in a room, heads turn. Everyone thinks that everyone knows it's true about their wife. It is true. She walked in, people jaw drop. That's why I had such a hard time with this whole thing. It's like, why would you want me to be with anybody else? I only have eyes for you.
Right.
But it's what she wants. It's like
You're entertained, right.
So I had...
So is Nick Delgado the only guy she's brought up but said she didn't do anything with?
Absolutely.
Now, these girls, when's the last time anything with any of them?
Okay. I don't know Rachel. It's been years. Say 5 years for Rachel.
Okay.
Just, maybe once I think with her. Well, probably 5 years, same time frame. Margaret would either be 1.5 or 2.5 years ago.
Nobody else. So there's no way in your mind that you have any concerns that she had something set up and something went weird?
No. There's absolutely zero concern on my part about her being with anybody.
Okay.
Because she was in a different place. We hadn't done this in a while now. Mm-hmm. I was happy about that.
Right.
She was good.
Right.
We were better.
She stopped bringing it up?
She didn't bring it up anymore. And I asked her once, and she goes, I don't really need that now. Like, great. And it's like, because I can't tell you how happy I was when she said that. Because it's like, good, now we have...
Just us.
Yeah. And it didn't even come into fantasy play at that point. So it wasn't even brought up in fantasy.
Because it was done.
It was it was us.
Right.
But it was so cool.
It's nice.
That's 2.5 years. So it's,
That was my next set of questions was...
We'd always had a strong sex life together. Honestly, if we could, 3-4 times a day. Not often, because she didn't have time, but that would be where we were at. She always said my drive was stronger than hers, but she loved it. We enjoyed each other. And part of her drive being down, we thought, was because of so much damn working.
Absolutely. It was stressful, too.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
That overhead,
that's what I mean, the work, the stress. I feel like I just betrayed her.
You're not. You're helping to try and solve it.
That's why I told you.
I know.
That's why I told you. It's hard.
This is very hard.
This is hard. This really should be nothing.
This is unreal.
I should say this is
exactly. If it's going to help solve, relax. Stop hurting yourself. Just focus on your breathing.
Focus. That's what I did. That's why I'm
okay. Now, talking about your relationship, have you guys been contemplating any kind of separation or divorce? Has there been any marital problems?
No.
How about 6 months ago?
No.
How about a year ago?
No. Oh, she would talk occasionally. She gets mad. She has her temper.
Sure.
Which is not temper. She'd just yell. Your office looks like a mess. Our whole house is chaos. Clean your office.
Right.
This is the kind of thing that's going to make us have a divorce. Or the office, working together, having everything commingled, not having a personal life. We're at the office together sometimes. We're always talking about work at home. It's hard for us to have our time.
Right.
And she goes, this is the kind of thing that can cause marital problems. And she commented about divorces. I don't joke about the D word. I don't throw it around. I take our vows seriously. We have vows for 75 years. People say they'll be together forever. We're like, well, let's be real. 75 years is good. We put on our wedding vows. 75 to go.
You guys are funny.
So on our anniversary, on our 10-year anniversary, it was 65 to go on our anniversary card.
Oh my God. You guys are funny.
We are changing our relationship in the office. Mm-hmm. What she does to help patients is changing. Where she's going in her practice with Lenka, with the TV show, with the book she's going to write. Mm-hmm. With everything we were gearing to do.
Was shifting that dynamic and to where it would have created more personal time.
But it was also at the same time when she was like about stressing us. It's like, don't worry about us.
Right.
We are solid. I'm not going elsewhere. You're not going elsewhere. We have no issues. We know you have to focus. She was concerned she didn't have sex as much as I wanted. It's like, I never give you a hard time over that.
Right.
I could play with and try to get her going and stuff and say, leave me alone, I've got to go to work kind of thing. And I had done that for years. It's like, I respect you, I try to do that, and it's like, we're good. Well, we have sex once a week, once a month, or 4 times a day. That's not your measure of love for me.
No. Right.
And I know that we have guys, we have other outlets.
Right.
Like, that's not going to be an issue. So we were all evolving into this great big world-changing machine. We even talked about Lenka and George and their 2 girls, me and my girls, going like on the road together, doing tours. Lenka would be doing talks, educating the masses on energy medicine, traveling around the country, around the world. I mean, we had so much in the next 5-10 years.
Okay.
I don't know if I just tanked some things or if I helped. They tarnished her image.
I have to get the full picture because right now, that's where I'm at.
Does it change your image of my life?
No, I don't know. You're a human being. This is more normal than people think. And I can tell you from the work I do, this is way more normal than people think.
Seriously? Mm-hmm. Well, it's strange to me.
It's something you didn't want to do, but it's more normal than people think.
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't doing it. Oh God, here we go.
I get it. It's not your preferred, but you're going to get on board because that's what you wanted.
I wanted to make sure you know it, but it was like I'm so selfless. I mean, I enjoy it.
I know.
But
I'm not about to hand you some nice nails.
Yeah. I don't want to paint myself to be a saint, in that respect, because that's
You're not. You're being honest with me. You're being very honest with me.
And that's why I didn't want to give Jamie my phone. Because of pictures.
Sure. I get it. What?
Caroline.
Caroline what?
One more woman.
Number 4?
Yeah, but she was actually number 1, and it wasn't sex. It was oral sex.
Okay.
I mean, I would...
So that's why you would...
I didn't think about it, but I said my phone, I envisioned my phone, I envisioned the pictures, and I envisioned Caroline. She lives in St. Louis. It was strictly oral sex.
How long ago?
Oh, hell, years ago. 5. I mean, it was in that time frame, maybe even 6. I was, I'm going into too much crap, but I guess I need to. Her husband and I were best friends for decades. Mm-hmm. We had a falling out because I treated best friend by having oral sex with his wife. He didn't know that. She had an alcohol problem. She was an alcoholic. She admitted it. Wanted to get her help. We'll help. We'll cash out the savings. We will put her in a rehab. She's asking for help. How do you not give someone who's asking for help? That's the hardest part. Mm-hmm. She knows there's a problem. She wants help. She's tired of buying a 5th of vodka or whatever and driving home, drinking it and throwing it away before she gets home. She wanted to stop. That's Caroline. She's been sober now probably 3 years, 4 years. She's awesome. And he didn't want to go into any rehab. He said he'd rather have his wife dead than just wasting money on rehab. And I'm like, I can't agree with this. He's like, he didn't ask him, he's just saying, and I'm like, I can't agree with this line of thought. She's your wife. Rehab is a waste of money. I'm just throwing the money. I'd rather have her have a car accident and kill herself or somebody. It's like, that's not acceptable. He goes, and don't talk to her either. I go, you can't stop me from doing what I need to do. I spoke to Caroline together about getting her into a rehab facility. She ultimately left Rich briefly to go to the rehab. It was successful. So awesome. She comes home. He changed. He said he changed. He and I haven't talked since then. He goes, if you talk to her, I'll never speak to you again. We haven't spoken. And she would tell me, she'd call me up at night, 2 a.m, whatever, call me up, Caroline, saying, I came home from work and Rich has an open bottle of wine on the counter. She'd always drink wine. He left a joint out for me because she'd drink and smoke. And that was, she had to stop everything. And he was sabotaging. And all those things were going on. And she is still sober. Said, I don't think she's had a single relapse. I think it's probably been 4 years. It was in July that she went away for the month. And Rich and I, we grew up together. We were like 15, 16-year-olds together. And I just couldn't.
It sounds like you and to help people. Is it possible in your mind that there's any particular person that you try to help out similar to this kind of situation whose spouse was pissed off enough to do anything?
I have to go back to my original. Absolutely not. I can't think of anybody who'd want to hurt her.
Okay.
Even Rich, his way, he didn't want to kill his wife. He never heard of that.
You want to ignore the situation.
Ignore the problem, which is a typical response, which is not
apathy. And leave it alone, right?
Which is wrong.
Oh,
blinders.
I agree with you.
I ignore the elephant.
Yeah, blinders is stupid. Yeah. I'm trying to think of motives and ideas.
I'm trying to help you.
And you are. You're doing a great job.
I'm telling you all my freaking garbage.
Well, that's how this works.
I know.
Because I'm going to go. We're going through your phone.
These things. Hello, you're going to find something.
I'm going to see Right.
I forgot about that. Right. So what I'm telling you isn't a big deal. You're going to see it anyway.
I'll see it anyway. Right.
Why didn't you tell me that a half hour ago? I would have just bored it.
Oh, make it better.
No.
Okay. Well, no, you did it on your own.
I know. I just need to.
Let me check on a couple of things. Pick your brain. Obviously, tonight, whatever sleep you get, all this is going to marinate and it's going to trigger more stuff.
Do you have a direct number for me, or do I call Jamie?
Yeah, you talk to Jamie, and Jamie and I work together. So I'll be right back. I'm going to get the final status on your phone. This didn't take long at all.
How's everyone else doing? As far as are they done?
I'll check on. Yeah, they're done. They're done. I'll be right with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry. No. I gotta go to the funeral home. I gotta still call these people. Sorry. I went through that, Judge. I'm sorry. I know you don't care now. Keep my baby safe and put this bastard in jail. Oh, God. I'm so quickly. Excuse me. Excuse me. I gotta see my girls.
Okay, Mark. Right, we're going to let you get out of here, okay? Here's your phone. Listen, I do appreciate you coming down here. Sorry about the time frame, okay?
If it helps, it's what it is.
Okay.
You know what? Did a buccal swab.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'm going to do that now. Okay. I've got your prints, so I'll take care of that.
Is this David?
No, I didn't know. This is Lieutenant Amrich. We'll probably won't need to speak to you again. Make sure we've got so much information from you that we'll just have to keep running stuff.
I want to speak to you every chance I can.
Excellent.
I program your number in my phone, so when you call me, I know it's you.
Okay.
Because my phone rings off the hook.
Oh, no ignoring me. Put me straight through a voicemail there.
I honestly...
In the early morning hours of June 27, 2015, Curtis Wright took a rental car from his home in Missouri, picked up Jimmy Rogers, and the two drove over 1,000 miles to the Sievers home in Bonita Springs, Florida. Detectives were able to track their GPS log for the entire trip. Upon arriving at the residence, the two men disabled the alarm system, drove to pick up more supplies, and returned to wait for Teresa to get home. They then ambushed her in the kitchen, again striking her 17 times in the head with the hammer, packed up, and drove back to Missouri. Curtis Wayne Wright took a plea deal and received a 25-year sentence in exchange for his testimony against Mark Sievers and Jimmy Rogers. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Jimmy Rogers, who was initially facing first-degree murder charges and a possible death penalty, was ultimately found guilty of second-degree murder and in December of 2019 was sentenced to life in prison. Mark Sievers was found guilty of first-degree murder in December of 2019, and the jury unanimously recommended the death penalty. In January of 2020, he was sentenced to death and remains on death row at Union Correctional Institution in Florida. In November of 2022, Sievers' appeal was denied and his conviction was affirmed by a Florida Supreme Court. Just a few weeks later, Sievers filed another appeal. That's how this game goes. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon.